Yo. Episode 4, what's up? Yo, I'm appreciating all the love from everybody, from all the good people. Here's some housekeeping. So on the screen, as you can see, House of Johal, we've dropped some merch. Use code E2 at checkout for a 20% discount. While supplies last, we have 2 t-shirts, 2 Olympic style Khalsa t-shirts for anybody who is interested. A wrestling one, as you can see on the right, and the Olympic Games ones, as you can see on the left. And the front also has a Amritsar Olympic logo. Check it out while supplies last. I think there's less than 100 in total left between the two. Some sizes may be sold out, but I think there's a lot of larges and extra larges. If you guys like this, there's also some other stuff on the website. We will do more drops, but definitely check it out. Use code E2, House of Johal. Johal spelled O-U. Link in the description on YouTube, and it will also be in the description on Spotify. All right, yo, what up? So, episode 4. Let's see what's on the docket. Let's get the mujika going. All right, let's do something. Let's do random. All right, cool. Actually, I need something more better for talking. You know, something like some J Diesel. All right, yo, I've been appreciating everyone for the pod. Actually, let me show you guys the website, quick styles. So, House of Joe. Okay. House of. Right here. Because I did like a parallax thing. So when you enter, there's like this really trippy 3D effect with the sing on the front and like Renaissance background. Ba-boom. Enter. These are some of the hoodies we did before. Oh, well, you can't see them. Hold on, I'm gonna close my little window. See these hoodies on the side? We did those before. You see me wearing them sometimes in the podcast. Depending how this drop goes, I might redo it. We have these shirts right now and these bills that are seen on the sculpture. So if you go to the shop, you'll see the shirts. So this is the front. Let's see if I can zoom in. So it's like a Singh holding a torch with the Olympic logo. And then we have the bills, the Khalistan bills. They come in 3 styles. You get a single bill for $5, full collection, one of each, 22. And then if you just want a fat stack to flex, $125. We actually we had like 5 big like bundles. Only have 1 now. So these are kind of like a hot ticket item. They're dope. I mean, everyone likes to keep 1 or 2 in their wallets and stuff. I mean, yeah, check it out. E2. The discount is only applied to the shirts, though. So, just letting you know right now. Yeah, so anything that's been interesting going on, I wonder. It'd be crazy if I just, like, burn out after 3 episodes of nothing to talk about. I've seen a lot of people, like, talking about the mixtapes, the Gatka mixtapes and stuff. You should definitely check them out on YouTube. Gatka mixtape volume 1, 2. The other one's harder to find. You have to type in Gatka demonstration and then just kind of like look around and maybe you can eventually find it. But, you know, it is what it is. So I saw this video of this like Dera Baba who like apparently has been like sexually assaulting his followers and like kids and stuff. And it kind of like goes to show that like even we are not like we can also get messed up from the Dera Baba situation where like, you know, Gore fall for the Bikram yogas and the whatevers, But like that's also something that can happen in our community, because I think people are like just like cult of personality does take over, and then you get this kind of like messed up stuff. That's why like an instant red flag is a data. If there's somebody who's like too much for like one guy, even if the guy is actually good, it's just like, nah, man. Like that was like that's like the whole point not for Sikhi, man. Like everyone just revolving around one guy. Like there's some other groups out there like that, like the Bulandpuris and stuff, that they're like kind of like they're in that Nanak Sariye branch, if you guys know what that is. And they're kind of like, they do their own kind of weird stuff. But I've been seeing some of this stuff, and it's just like, yo, if you're falling for the trap, that's basically going to be on you. What is cool, though, is that, what's the name of that guy? What the hell is his name? The white guy who was super deep into all this. The 3HO, man. The 3HO guy. Happy, holy, healthy. Yogi Bhajan. Boom. Okay. So this guy kind of got canned for doing all this crazy shit. He was like he was basically fucking around. You know, that's kind of what it got down to. And then like the cult he left behind, like they are culty, where like, you know, like this guy right here. I mean, look at those eyes, bro. This is pretty insane. Like they like merged Sikhi with like new age spirituality, which is like really weird, and they kind of used it, but like to some extent, like some of them got it. Like there's this really cool interview where Yogi Bhajan was talking about 84, and he's like, yo, we sent our guys with them and they sent their guys with us. Like they did have like a little crossover event. And if you look at some pictures, I'm trying to find this right now, where you can see some of the Gore Sikhs with Yogi Bhajan. Man, why is this so hard to find? Like there's like a really famous picture of like Yogi Bhajan with Baba Nihal Singh and Sanchana Singh, like right here. That's not Yogi Bhajan, I don't think, but I think that's Yogi Bhajan. Like they're talking and stuff, and then like this is the infamous picture right here, but like this guy was just smashing puss. You know, things got pretty dark at some point. I want to find this one guy. He has like this page on Instagram. Once I find it, I'll definitely shout it out, where he like shows a lot of this like old school stuff, and you can see it. Just give me one sec. Enjoy the music in the meantime. You know, shout out to everyone that's been subscribing, watching the TikToks, talking shit. You know, I love it. Where is it? Oh my god, I have to go through every single one of my followers to find this guy. Yo, this is really bad producing right now. But it is what it is. I mean, once I find this guy's page, it's like a gold mine of like dope shit to look at. Alright, is it right? I'm about to be so choked if I don't find this. Is it Khalistan Archive? No. It is... Dude, I'm literally at the end of my list, man. Please, come on. It's right... Once I find him... Oh, right here. Oh my god, thank the Lord. That was so annoying. So... This guy's page, I guess, like, you should follow him. Sikh Movement Rares. So he finds, like, really rare pictures from, like, Sikh history and, like, posts them. Like, stuff that when you, like, look for pictures, you don't really find them. And there's one... Where is it? And I remember seeing it once and, like, being really tripped out. It's, like, in this one picture, you can see, like, Gori Singhnia... like chilling with like this like Santaji guys and like the Sangat and stuff, which I remember seeing and just being like so tripped out. Like damn, like Yogi Bhajan wasn't capping when he said like we sent our guys and they sent their guys. And I mean, I guess in this situation it was girls. Wow, what a turn this podcast had, eh? Like I'm literally just scrolling through like a Santaji montage right now, and we used to talk about such messed up stuff before. I mean, it's not messed up. It's like, experiences with the Rands, McDans. Check out his podcast if you haven't. God damn, why can't I fucking find this picture? Whatever, doesn't matter. Yogi Bhajan, tripped out weird guy, and like the data culture, like you just see it everywhere. Like there's so many crazy things. Like even these people right here, I think like I've seen this video before where the dude is basically like rambling to Sikhs where he's
say of each other that there was bribery, there was blackmail, there was sexual blackmail, there was all kinds of politicking, pulling in of favors.
Yoga in general is a bricolage, right?
There's telemarketing scams, many of them.
The problem with this whole thing, have you seen the Punjab Sian YouTube? Let me see what that is. Punjab Sian. I don't even know what this is. This guy's killing it with the views. Probably some crazy takes. Talking to hella people in India. Respect. Don't know what he's talking about. Could be some crazy shit. I mean, not much I can say to that. What do you call it? The problem with the whole cult thing and that whole angle to this situation is that like a guy like Yogi Bhajan, like my mom, when she was going to UBC, was staying at this like 3HO lady's house, and she was married, had kids, and all this stuff. And then first off, she says like their version of Sikhi was kind of like retarded, like the way they were following it, like they weren't doing the proper Maryada. Like Yogi Bhajan basically, I think he even writes a letter. He's like, my people, like they're kind of gore. They don't want to like wear kripans, and like some of them want to like still smoke. Can they do that? And then the Kaltak is like, bruh, what? Like, are you stupid? Like, hell no, dude. And so like this guy was kind of like selling them something. Like they got basically like bamboozled by a dumbass himself. Like the story goes is that like the Yogi Bhajan's whole like claim to fame story is he was a security guard at Indira Gandhi International or something, or like at an airport, and then he saw all these gore coming in during the whole hippie movement of the 60s 70s, like where like when the Beatles, Sikh, what is it? Had connection with Sikhs and Indian spiritual practices. Harrison received sitar lessons from a Sikh teacher, and the band's visit to Rishikesh in 1968, where they studied meditation with a yogi. So like if there's like a really famous picture, like the Beatles with their Sikh drivers in India, and so like when the Beatles did it, like all of the West just like LSD, drugs, spirituality's in India, we gotta go over there. And so then like there was this huge flocking, and then so the story goes that Yogi Bhajan was basically like these idiots, and he keeps seeing them at the airport, and he's like, yo, I'm gonna fucking that's it, I'm gonna can these guys. I'm gonna bring Eastern spirituality to you. And so there was like a concert or something that he was at, and he started doing this. He started like acting like this like tripped out spiritual guy. Where is the footage? Oh fuck. There was like this concert, basically like some Woodstock type of situation, where he basically went and he was like this like super spiritual guy, and then that's how people started kind of like getting into like kind of falling into the fold. I think it might have been like this. It's Woodstock Nation weekend, 50 years since Woodstock. Tom Law, one of the Yogi Bhajan's first students, like something like that happened, and then basically the following grew, right? And he from the start kind of knew like these guys are dummies. I'm gonna use my like exoticness to like get a one up on them, and that's what he did. And these gores fell for it hard. And then the problem with these gores is like SikhNet is like a pretty popular website that Sikhs have used, and it started by these gore. And then the guy Gurdwara Singh, he cut his hair. And so people were kind of like looks like after 26 years, Gurmustik Singh's not only a step away from Sikhna, but also from Sikhi. He seems to have given up the Barna. So let's see. He cut his hair, yeah. Like he completely cut his hair. He that used to be him. Oh shit. This used to be him way back in the day, and then he cut his hair, and then that's what he looks like now. And so like some of these guys use it as a grift, where they're basically like using Sikhi as this like a platform, and then it's easy for them to just like, you know, who cares, cut your hair, I'm still kind of cool with it. And that's something I seen a lot. So when my mom was staying with these 3HO people, they were like kind of die hard, but then like they got divorced or something, and then the wife, they got divorced, and then the kids, they cut their hair, and they were just like, yeah, this was like brainwashing, I hated it, this was not my life, etc., etc. And then like now look at this guy, like this is him with this kid, etc., etc. And then like he's left the panth, right? Because I think like the thing is that on like a deeper end, it's hard for Gore to kind of properly like interface with being Khalsa, because it just kind of doesn't jive fully, because like they have this like more classical Christian approach to it, and then that basically you see it in how they're viewing Sikhi, and then they kind of do like stupid stuff. Last episode I was talking about the whole Prat and Dastar thing, and I was like dying to try to find this picture, and I think I finally have it. So here, this guy had posted this to Twitter to me. He like sent it to me under a reply. Because basically, if you look at like old Prat and Damallas, like sometimes you just literally couldn't keep them on your head. So you had to tie them down with like a Nakstra Patti. So like, look, wow, this is a Prat and Damalla / tutorial that he does. And he shows that like to kind of keep it down, you have to anchor it by doing something like this. So for all you dumbasses out there you go. I'm actually more in line with the Prathan way of doing things than your dumbasses are using fucking do-rags and shit. Like, I think because so many people wear the do-rag, it's like decently normalized, but I think it's like more stupid actually, because what you're actually like imitating is like Kala culture, which is just the saddest. And I mean, we've had our moments with like, you know, being with Kala culture and stuff like that. Like, what's that guy? Lonnie Liston Smith, I think is his name. No, that's not him. This guy, Lonnie Smith. So like some of you guys might have seen this guy, but he's like a Kala like organist player, and he wore a pug. I mean, this is a pretty crazy example of a pug, not gonna lie. Let's see. Like, you know, this makes more sense. This is kind of like some Egyptian thing. And then he basically came out eventually and was like, yeah, I'm not a Sikh at all. Like, I don't believe in this. This is like more for spiritual reasons. And like again, like Sikhs don't have we don't have like a monopoly on the pug. Like other cultures have worn types of it. Like you see like reggae, like, you know, Rasta head wrap. Right here, like this is Sizzla, I think. Like this is basically like a Kala version of a pug, you could kind of say. You know, like if you saw this, like you would be like, oh, that's basically a pug, you know. But this guy's just basically covering his hella dreadlocks. Like this guy literally looks like Akala Singh, but this is a Rasta, right? So like Sikhs aren't the only people that wear types of pugs and stuff, right? But like Lonnie Smith basically just came out and was like, yeah, I'm not a Sikh, I just wear this for like spiritual reasons and stuff. But like he's pretty goated, like as far as music goes. Like he has a few samples. Let's find them. Lonnie Smith. All right, so this is him in Can I Kick It, which is like a pretty like this is a pretty what's the word, like this is like a fundamental track to like hip hop, you can say. so Lonnie Smith, let's see, 50 Cent. So this part, if you recognize Can I Kick It? And then 450 seconds. So basically that part in the drum loop is what they Tribe took. So this is such a good song. So that's the drum loop, and then 127.
Positives is a plus love as the trial flies high
This
like
part.
a dove.
God damn, you gotta love music, man. Like, it's so, like, this is why if you can dive into hella genres and stuff, it's so nuts. But then there's, like, the obvious, like, super famous Ice Cream Wu-Tang Yenny, which is, like, amazing goat. Okay, he's like, right there. Do you see that? You see the little goodie poking out?
They call me Starkey Love One. Check the strategy by any means. Shirley Temple Cross was done by Billy Jeans. Black Mrs. America, your name is Erica, right? True. Lazy apple, small piece, 6 shoe. Caramel complexion, breath smelling like cinnamon.
You just keep seeing popping in the background working. Look at that. Look at that little Gurti Singh. There's a couple clips of him just like mean mugging hard. Yeah, right there. You know that type of dude's name was like Pratap. He was a Pratap Singh. Super dark. You know, he didn't even probably know what a Jat was at this time and back in the 90s. Man, he just like, yeah, bro, we're Singh, man. It's part of my religion, my culture. And then they had him in this Wu-Tang. You know, he's probably never seen this many chicks in his life, but he just had to look as dope as possible. Damn. Then there's the famous, I think it's the street talking. Andre 3000 had this like phase where he was wearing a pug too, and it's in this. You see it? This song is so sick too. This is like when Slick Rick came out of jail.
Not trying to claim things I haven't earned, honest man. Slick Rick and Outkast is on it. Skip the ruler, Rick.
Right here. There. This is like that. Right there. Boom.
Riggedy, can you beat that? Remember the time I laid them down, a teenage love, I see that just a sport of rhyming, breaking new patterns like Hyman, sucking and jiving the line, spitting that king too clean.
Right there, if you want to see it. Right there, boom. Andre 3000 bug.
Blue Gators for you haters and the for you like an addiction cause I need it. Hip hop is that I fade it like a
kind of cool.
Monkey cause I shown up like to beat it.
It's like I'm not like the type of person who's dick riding like, bro, look, they're like respecting our culture. It's like, yeah, like I think a lot of people, like in the progression of like spirituality, it kind of gets to a point where you're like covering your hair is like part of the shtick. That like it makes sense that you want to be covering your case, you know. And then there's like another famous example, Bhajan from Slum Village. This guy was also like wearing a pug. He died because he got like schizophrenic, so like you can see him there too. He's wearing a pug. And the famous album cover, he's also wearing one. So like if I go to Slum Village. Yeah, right here you can see him wearing a thicky pug too. And like what's interesting is like they actually did the style properly. Like Liston Smith or Lonnie Smith, like he did it right. Like he did the 50, and then his lards were like pretty crisp and like even more hectic, you know. And so you kind of got to give it like the due of like, all right, you guys did do it properly. And it was so cool, like not gonna lie, like seeing this stuff, like especially like when I discovered Slum Village back in high school, like grade 9, and I was like, what? A fucking black guy wearing a bug? Like half these fucking monne out here are like allergic to like growing their case, and instead want to look like cholos and fucking Mexicans. And whereas like you have these like black people at like heights of their like careers that are like, yo, this pug thing is cool, like I want to keep my hair wrapped, rastas and like rappers and musicians, and like it's like you can't even get our own people to do it. Like it's kind of embarrassing that like that's the state of things, but whatever, it is what it is. And Bhajan, he died later, but this guy, he has like some of my favorite verses on like Slum Village projects over J De La Beats. He's just a beast. Yeah, it was like just a random thing. I mean, a lot of people might have seen these, but I mean, it's funny because it's like this guy's literally wearing like a kada in this picture, but he's like, yeah, I have no relationship. Like this is literally a gold pug, you know? Like what a weird tripped out character to be like, yo, I have nothing to do with like Sikhi. Like he's wearing a kurta, has a mala, and has a gold pug on, and he's like, yeah, I have no connection to Sikhi. What a tripped out guy. He just died recently too. That sucks. Rest in peace to a goat, I guess. But like he was rocking a pug way back in 1977. Like that's not something you just like stumble upon. That's like you figured out how to properly tie a dastar. You know, like this ain't just some like, oh, what? I think that like the like humanity, like most people don't understand our history, not even our history, but like human history, because most of human history, being ganja or like being bald or like having your hair cut was a sign of like you are a slave. Like you are the worthless piece of society. In ancient Athens, slaves all had their hair cut, whereas like the affluent and rich people would in public grab combs and comb their hair to just be like it was like a flex. Look at my long hair and like look at me, like basically showing that I'm a free man. And then so Sikhi kind of just like, it makes sense. Like it's unnatural to cut your hair because you would have to invent a apparatus. Like you have to invent scissors, you have to invent clippers to cut your hair because it is a natural occurring phenomenon of the human body. Whereas like nails, like if your nails get too big and you're like out there in the world, like they will like break because they're brittle. They're supposed to come out. You know, because some dumbasses always make the argument like, why do you cut your hair then? Why do you cut your nails? Right? Well, the body's natural because your nails will automatically, like, you're basically, it's like the equivalent of like combing your hair where you cut your nails because otherwise all of China and Korea kept their hair. China until the Qing dynasty, and Korea until the Japanese occupation. Yeah, even the samurai, right? Like, like samurais at certain levels kept their hair even more. And there's like that scene in The Last Samurai where when that guy gets his hair cut, like it's such a like what? Oh my god! Like how could this happen? Type situation, and it's like a devastating scene in the movie. Where like this samurai's case is like seen as like such a beautiful thing, and the fact that they cut it is like a big deal. Like right here, like he's about to duel, he's going down like a bitch, and they were like, "Fuck you." And this scene is pretty tragic. Like, as a Khalsa, as like a Singh, when you see this, it's like holy shit. Like this is like this might be the closest depiction in Hollywood to like what a Paitaru Singh must have like felt, where like they're forcibly trying to cut your hair, and like how devastating that is because your case is part of your Sikhi, it's a Bajrakarat, but it's being forced to take away from you. Like that's basically like Sophie's choice. Like either your hair gets cut or you become a Muslim. Like how do you do that? And like you have no ability to withstand, and like now this guy's just gonna just takes his. Like, if you were a Khalsa and that happened to you, bro, that's like, we're about to, like, pop off right now. We're going to war with the, like, the music, everything hits. China and Korea was mostly due to Confucianism. Sant Maskinji considers Confucius and Lao Tzu as saints. And then this guy in the movie later on just basically, like, does Shahidi. Like, that's the best way to describe it. Like, what's this guy's name? Last Samurai, Katsumoto escape scene. Last Samurai. So a lot of people actually don't know this, but Tom Cruise, they were gonna make a a period piece about like colonialism, or not colonialism, but like a movie about like the 1700s where a Gora mercenary goes to one of these countries and basically helps the local population like quell the native population's army, and the choices were either Meiji Japan or Maharaja Ranjit Singh Empire. And I guess because samurais were kind of getting cooler and stuff at this point in Hollywood, that they decided to go to Japan. But it could have been, the storyline would have been, Tom Cruise was going to go into Maharaja Ranjit Singh's service as one of the men, like Allard or like some of these other Gore that joined his army. Like one of my buddies, he's going to be on the pod to like really talk about that. And basically Tom Cruise's character would have helped the Khalsa Fauj develop their army to fight the British. Like it would have been like a similar like white savior situation. But that guy whose hair gets cut like in the scene later, he's just like, yo, fuck my life. Like, it's time to die now. And so this is him right here. Pretty sad. Because I think at that point, you're just like, I've been so dishonored by the fact that, like, my hair has been cut, that, like, death is, like, the only option that is suitable to, like, redeem oneself. So, like, he basically goes out on, like, a bonsai charge situation with the last amount of, like, life he possibly has. And then he just gets murked. But you could imagine, like, this would have been basically a Khalsa movie where, like, Tom Cruise would have been, like, some British guy, joins the Sikh forces, starts having to grow a beard, and he's wearing a pug. But I guess maybe, like, it just wouldn't have been possible at that time. But I think they could totally do it again. Same style, basically, like The Last Samurai, The Last Khalsa. They would have probably had to call it or some shit. Would have been pretty dope, I think. I would think. But, like, that's why that goes back to my point that, like, most societies will always end up looking at hair as, like, when they're going through their most spiritual phase, all these societies look at hair as, like, a very big marker of spirituality. But then as societies go away from that, and, like, America is a perfect example of that now. Like, I think one of my buddies was telling me that, like, these dudes started, like, not only did it become cutting your hair, but then, like, having a cleaned baby face. That became more so that, from one of my buddies told me this. I'm not fully sure if it's true, but it's like one of those things that sounds true. But basically, they used to have like back in the day, they used to have salesmen that would come to your house. Hey, missus, do you want some meat? Hey, missus, do you want to buy these knives? Because the woman would be at home while the man's at work, right? And then so to appeal to these women who are probably in, like, loveless boomer relationships and marriages, they would then get kind of, like, fawn over these dudes that had, like, baby face looking kind of guys, right? And then it kind of became a norm, but, like, now you kind of see it coming back where, like, beards are back and stuff. But, like, if I showed you, let me see, is there a way I can, like, look at my activity on Instagram web? Instagram web is the most unintuitive, like, piece of garbage they possibly created. Like, you can't post from it. You just, can you actually? Yeah, actually you can post from it, I guess. Wow. But I guess that's new. Let's see, your activity, comments. All right, I think I'll be able to find this. What? This guy just literally deleted an Instagram, man. That is so whack. Oh my god, I fucking hate people on Instagram, man. Basically, there's like this like white Nahang. Let's just see if I can find that, man. White Nahang images. This chick was, like, pretty famous on Instagram for a while. This Texan Nahang as a Christian mom, Muslim father. Interesting. I've noticed that, though, like, when I was in Phoenix, like, Gore that are a little bit exposed to, like, Eastern thought end up having this, like, gravitation towards brown culture and life. Like, I was there and I was, like, chilling with this girl, and then, like, I'm listening to her story, and she's like, oh, I babysit for a Pakistani family. And I felt like that was, like, her like, introduction into that world. And so she was about it. Like, look at this, man. Like, if you became an old man one day Like, this is to me like peak masculinity look right here. Like how Baba Mansingh looks. Hello, I'm still just like shifting myself around. Welcome back. We're logging into your face. Oh my God, I don't want to care about any of this stuff. Oh my God. Can I just make the password? Sure. All right, everyone gets to see my password. All right. Oh my God, man. Can I just not have to use this? No thanks. I just hate the internet sometimes, like, so much. Hopefully that works. Okay, cool. Seriously? Can I just look at this picture? Thank you. So, like, look at this picture of Baba Mansingh. Like, this is something, like, you would want to strive for in old age. Like, this just looks like peak masculinity. Like, the aura is insane. And, like, there's, like, this thing where you can kind of see it in the world now where, like, a lot of cultures are dead. Like, the amount of, like, legitimate cultures left in the world, I can't think of many because, like, North America has none. South America has none. Like, sure, food and stuff like that. But I think what really constitutes a culture is the spiritual identity that your culture has, along with, like, clothing, for example. And there's, like, this really interesting video on Instagram where, like, different regions basically had different problems when it came to, like, clothing and weather, and they all basically solved it in different ways where, like, for example, the Bedouins of Arabia figured out that if you used wool and, like, wove it in a certain way and made it airy, it doesn't matter about the color, but the airiness of it would actually keep you cool in the desert sun. And then in Japan, with the humidity, they would create, like, the type of fibers they had in their cloth would be almost like see-through, so that, like, the humidity was not, like, killing them and, like, really becoming super hot. And then in India, they use, like, super fine silks and cotton fabrics and would weave them in a certain way, and it would also influence your fashion essentially. And so most cultures in the world have basically, like, abandoned their original cultural attitudes and things that made them culturally distinct, right? Like, everyone now wears Jordans and Nike. Everyone wears jeans and jogging pants, shirts. So, like, clothing doesn't matter. Like, what are the markers of a distinct culture, ChatGPT? Let's find out. Okay. So, language. So, right off the rip, like, English is spoken by most of the world. And yes, a lot of countries have their own language, but language is not as interesting anymore. So, customs and traditions. So now this is where, like, a lot of people have lost that. Because, like, some customs and traditions are more like they're more of, like, a capitalistic practice more than, like, something that actually matters to your community and everything else. Like, Thanksgiving dinner is more of, like, a Hallmark holiday situation than it is, like, an important cornerstone for what their society is. Clothing and dress, that's been out the window, like I just said. Everyone's wearing the same shit. Food and cuisine. Like, food and cuisine has basically crossed over around the world where, like, you have, like, dippers making pizza in Surrey, and you have, like, gore making curry in Britain. You know, so, like, food, like, in the West, right? In the West, culture has amalgamated. Like, most of this stuff does not apply. Arts and music. Most of the Western world, from, like, all of Europe, Eastern Europe, South America, North America, okay, maybe not South America completely, but North America, let's, like, use, like, the G7 and all that, they all listen to hip-hop, right? Most of them don't share religious beliefs and anything properly. They're all amalgamated, and as one of my buddies would say, Christianity has promoted race mixing, and if you're a real white person, you would be a pagan. Food and cuisine, everyone's basically, like, eating an amalgamation of kind of the same stuff. It's not actually distinct. Like, I think the like, stereotypical view of certain like cultures used to be much more distinct growing up in the 60s and 70s, because like it wasn't completely mogged by like outer influences, and globalism hadn't completely like destroyed it. But like there's a few places on earth now where if you go there, you can actually get like a very distinct, like unique cultural experience. And I think truly in my heart, I might be just talking shit, that the most pure cultural experience you can get for any people, ethnicity, religion, anything in the entire world would be in Punjab. Because if you look at this entire list, language, you get Punjabi, and you get like Gurmukhi with Gurbani, customs and traditions. You get to see very unique rituals, festivals, ceremonies, and social norms, right? You get to see Gatka, you get to see Holi, Hola Mahalla, Vaisakhi, you get to see Chatka, you get to see the making of Shahidi Deg, Santhya, like a lot of these social norms, customs, and traditions, clothing and dress, people in Barna, and kurte pajame, food and cuisine, obviously Punjabi food, religion and spiritual beliefs, like Sikhis on full display. Like if so, like that religion aspect of it, like sure you'll see a lot of that stuff in other parts in India too. So like India in totality is like a place, but like India, the most of India has had like maybe some of the worst possible, what's the word I'm looking for? Propaganda? No, that's not the word I'm looking for. They've had some of the worst possible, it's not propaganda, the word I'm looking for. The Khalsa, the preserve of the Asian culture from Iran to Japan. They are the heirs of Dharma, brother. Yep, they are the heirs of Dharma. I agree with that. What's the word I'm not looking for? It's not propaganda. Propaganda synonyms. They've had some of the worst publicity now. Yeah. Like for the last few years, the publicity in India has been so dog shit that in Punjab is like the only place you can get it. So like if we look at all religions, Roman Catholicism is bullshit, and if it's only practiced in Vatican City, you go there, cool. You know, the architecture is not unique to the Catholic Church. All that art is not unique to that one place. You see it all across Italy. You see it across Athens and the Greek civilizations and the what's left of them and that whole like thing. So it's like Western culture amalgamated into its current form that you see today. And so like Judaism in Israel, it's like very pseudo secular. In India, you get to see some Hinduism stuff. China doesn't really have like a distinct religion. They do like adopt Buddhism pretty well, so you get to see that. Like in the East, it seems like, you know, they are rising and et cetera, et cetera. But again, to see a lot of this on display, there might be only a few places. Like maybe Thailand has like a really interesting Buddhist culture that you can like interface with from their temples, the Buddhists themselves, the clothing, traditional attire, whatever. In Japan, you can see this as well. Like I believe that, let's see, finally get to use the map that I just I think it's called like Wakayama. Yeah, in Wakayama you can basically go stay with like the Buddhists. Wakayama, staying with Buddhists. In Wakayama Prefecture, particularly in Koyasan, you can experience a unique stage, Shukubo temple lodgings. Offering the opportunity to live and interact with Buddhist monks. This includes participating in monastic life, experiencing Buddhist rituals, enjoying Shojin Ryori vegetarian cuisine. So yeah, they got it. But like, if we're gonna be real about it, like that's basically just Indian Dharma that they're experiencing, you know? Like if we're just gonna be real about it. And so like Wakayama is a place. But again, I think if we're looking at the cultural identity, Punjab's got it the best. Arts and music, because like if you take this in totality, I know in the last episode I said Bollywood music is better than Punjabi music, but in totality, if you take all the stuff, the arts and music, social structure, architecture, like if you look at the architecture of Harmandir Sahib, the values and ethics of like langar and institutions and the way like people are always going to help you if you go to any pind, etc., symbols and icons, right? The khanda, the flags, and the Nishan Sahib's education and knowledge from being able to learn Santhya, he listening to Katha at like your local Gurdwara, and then economy and occupations. I don't know why when I saw the first thing I thought was like Tarkans and and doing woodworking, but like you get to see a very, very pure cultural identity in Punjab. And I think that I'm not like thinking too hard about all the other places, but there's like only like, I guarantee you there's only like 10 locations on earth where it's this pure. But purity is one thing, but like how interesting it is another thing. And I think that the Sikhs of Punjab have everybody beat like 10-1. Like there's nowhere on earth where you see literally like old men looking like fucking Gandalf and like crazy warrior wizards. Like where else would you see some shit like that? Like what culture breeds and creates fucking human beings that look like this? I don't think there's a single one on earth, man. Like this just looks like a timeless form. The blue, like this is like let's look at a Buddhist. Let's look at an old Buddhist. Like, okay, this is like not doing the best, and I feel like they're really trying to like not help me with my point, or they're trying to help me with my point because these look really bad. But like, can I just find like, let's just go like older Buddhist. Like the bald head, the renunciation, like this is everything that the Khalsa stands against. Like Javala, which I hopefully will get him on this pod. He has this amazing like lecture series, Study Sikhi. Go check it out. And he basically does talk about how like the Khalsa is basically renunciating the renunciation. Where these paths where they cut their hair and all this kind of stuff, they are essentially signaling to the world that we've renunciated the world and its ideas and whatever. But the Khalsa is in stark contrast to that to be like, no, we are positively life affirming. We are part of this world. We are part of creating this civilization and crafting the world with our energy and whatnot. And I think that's what makes like the Khalsa such a beautiful entity that like nobody can come close to. Like this is not bad. This is kind of cool. The Turag warrior of Algeria. Yeah, that's not bad. Like this is pretty cool. Like this is pretty like Khalsa coded, I would say. These Algerian Bedouin looking dudes. Like this is pretty badass. Moorish, the Moors of Spain. But the thing is like you don't really like African culture got fucking nuked by the West, man. So sorry. Like they totally did you guys in. Like look at this guy, man. Oof. Like look at that Gora behind. And look at Baba Man Singh in front, man. They're probably like 20 years in age difference, but like one of them just looks like badass, man. Total badass. What else is on the docket? Okay, so I've been seeing this thing where South Africans are arriving in America and they're coming with their families, and a lot of people are shit talking, being like, finally, there's not middle-aged South Africans. White South Africans arrive in U.S. under Trump refugee plan. So a lot of people are being like, wow, look, see, they're coming with their families, right? Whereas like Gale and whatever's are going to other countries fighting age males. But the problem is like with that whole narrative is like this is why you got to come to a realization that the West will fuck you at some point. And it might not be you, but it might be your kids' kids, or whatever. Like if you assimilate too much, they fucked you in one way, which is they basically made you into them. And what is them? A culture that basically exemplifies two things above other: greed and pleasure. So you're basically going to have gooner, money grubby kids and daughters at some point. Like your daughters will become whores and your boys will just become gooner incels, like trying to make money. And like that's what Western assimilation will do at its end point for its people. Like the best way I could explain this phenomenon is this, right? The West wanted to make the aggregate life for the individual better. But what does that mean, right? So the Khalsa has a completely different way. Like, where in the Guru Granth Sahib and the Khalsa is it basically telling you, like, okay, this is how you make deals. This is how you balance your budget and make more money. They don't care about that. Like, cultural, like, spiritual currency does not exist with real money, right? There's so many stories that, like, show that. Oh, the famous story of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, where two people offer him food, one rich guy and one poor guy, and the poor guy's food, when he's like holds it, like milk is coming out of it, and the rich guy blood is, because it's like blood money. And so money doesn't mean anything. Money does not mean anything important in the world for your spiritual, like, even growth, self-actualization, higher, the Maslow hierarchy of needs. Like, in no place, like, money's at the lowest rung. Like, if we look at the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, okay, so at the bottom it is psychological needs, physiological needs, my bad. Breathing, food, water, shelter, clothing, sleep. Money can help you with that. The second level, safety and security, health, employment, property, family, and social ability. Money can help you with that. After that, money doesn't do nothing. For the next three levels, love and belonging, friendship, family, intimacy, sense of connection. Money will actually maybe fuck you up in that situation. Self-esteem, confidence, achievement, respect of others, the need to be a unique individual. Money will not help you there. Self-actualization, morality, creativity, spontaneity, acceptance, experience, purpose, meaning, and inner potential. Like, money will not help you on those important levels. It can basically help you do the most basic stuff. And so the West's idea of prosperity for its people was, well, we can quantify this one thing, which is money, and money can help with the basic things, but they're completely bankrupt on the other things, which are not quantifiable. And because those things that aren't quantifiable could not be quantified, they just use money as like, hey, look, like, there's that guy Steven Pinker, and his whole thing is like, oh, the world is much more richer than it was 100 years, or, you know, you're living the life better than a king because you can get KFC and watch movies on a flat screen. Like, kings couldn't do that. You know, they make these like really ridiculously stupid arguments, but I would argue that, like, that stuff didn't even matter in the first place. That, like, the self-actualization of a human being and their spirit and the ability to take you from like a man made of dirt and turn you into a diamond, that can only happen through like intense spiritual traditions and spiritual paths like Sikhi and like Eastern philosophy and things like that. Most of the Western philosophy is all bankrupt. And so they're basically keep going and harping and LARPing about like, oh, these South Africans are coming in, and they're coming in because they're coming with their families. You know, they're not fighting age men. But like, if you had a family and they're not going to let your family into this country to get some prosperity, you have to go by yourself. Of course, you're just going to be one person. And then their government will spin it as, oh, look, see, the fighting age men are the only ones coming into this country. Why aren't they coming with their kids? Because, motherfucker, you're not letting me bring my family and my kids. How many desis have stories where the men had to come, where all these bande were fucking arriving in fort towns where they were loggers or miners or doing menial labor jobs that no one else wanted to fucking do? My baba came into this country by himself, worked at a mill in fucking Campbell River, and slowly started to bring his wife, his kids, and his entire extended family one by one. But if they were, and they were super racist back then, but they could easily have put it in as, oh, look, we're being invaded by military age men. So you see how like the West will use its dirty tricks against you. Right now, Sikhs are in like a pretty decent position in Canada where we're on the side of like, we like these people. We only have had good experiences with these people. Oh, you go to a Gurdwara, right? Like, the best example I can have for this is Mark Gagnon. He had a podcast where he talks about Sikhism. I swear, man, like, Camp Gagnon. Okay. Religion camp, Sikhism.
became a part of.
This video is not bad. Like the fact that he's part of the flagrant crew and he did this, like I'm kind of like, all right, cool. Like I watched it. Him like, so like, see now look at like, this is right now we're on the curve of people actually kind of fuck with us, but don't like count on the fact that this is how it always be, because it's never like this. Like every single Western culture is always high marked by a simple point where if you do not assimilate, if you are not like them, you are the other, and we will try to force assimilate you, and if we can't, we will destroy you. That is always how the West works, right? So right now, people are saying shit like this. Sikhs are genuinely the nicest people I've ever met in my life. Something about their religion and upbringing just naturally makes them good people. Love my Sikh brothers and sisters. As a Sikh convert, I've been waiting for this episode. Let's see. Best religion ever. Americans who are hurting and can't afford a meal some days, your local Sikh church will have a hot meal for you, and they turn away no one. I remember growing up in Toronto in the 90s, people had a severe distrust of Sikh people. Once I entered the workforce and got to meet some, most of them are genuinely some of the kindest and generous people. Okay, this guy's like super... This guy's like some bummer in account right here. There's a dark, seedy element of remorseless violence and entitled nationalism, even in multiple countries around the world, and even when it makes no sense or it's a disconnected demand, which is wholly unjustified at all lengths with these guys in general. And like many aggressors, they have in spirit extensive PR tactics and branding activities to have others obsessed and distract with the mirage of them instead. You're too old. This, like, there's like this fucking retard on Twitter, Mark Berzagan or some shit, and he keeps going like the WSO is like the Jewish level propaganda minister of fucking Canada, and like that WSO has like infiltrated all forms of government and all this type of shit that he constantly says. But it's like, bro, you think, like, I've been to Gurdwara, bro. Gurdwara can barely pay for like a bathroom renovations. You think that they're basically paying for the PR of Sikhs across Canada? These fucking boomers who can't even use social media are masterminds. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, if we're on the right side of the curve right now, things are going to be fine. But once we're on the wrong side of the curve because certain elements and events, like this is, like, I can give you a certain example. There's two things I could see right off rip. And you're kind of seeing one of them right now, which is when you bring a lot more immigrants, and a lot of these are students. Some students, like, finally, they get to be outside. They want to have some fun, right? And I hate this anti-student hate because it makes no sense. You see on fucking Instagram and TikTok, fucking white dudes doing crazy shit, fucking blowing up stuff in parks, doing fucked up stuff, totaling cars and doing all this crazy shit. But it's like, LOL, white boy fun. But when you see students just like having fun the way other people are, yeah, they're maybe getting a little rowdy. They're not fucking setting shit on fire. Yeah, they're driving cars through Strawberry Hill, Cineplex Plaza, or, you know, they're all going downtown and stuff, and they're trying to hit on chicks. Like, they're doing very regular, normal activities. Then it spurs into this anti-student, anti-movement against them. For like what? They're literally not more wild and rowdy than white frat boys who I promise you are not only fucking doing crazy shit, but probably committing crimes and like sexually assaulting women. Not only are these white boys doing that, but they're doing crimes too on the low key. But like these desis, they're doing nothing, man. They're finally out of a place of Punjab and they want experience. Like, the reason why the model minority thing used to work for desis is because when our brown parents came here originally, like, being outside was a risk, man. You might go to the movies and watch like a Gora movie or something, and somebody might throw something at you. Like, it was actually like a fucking situation. So the only way to basically combat that was like, all right, we're just going to stay inside. We're going to go to the Gurdwara. Maybe we'll go to like the Indian Plaza and like meet our friends. And like, that's why that culture was more like closed off from like interacting with mainland society, because mainland or mainstream society was not accepting of you. But now these students are coming in. It's like, yeah, they have some money in their pocket. They want to go to the movies. They want to go to the arcade. They want to go downtown. They want to go to the rides. And this whole like, oh, the fact that now we're seeing that, you have all this anti-student hate, right? Which again, like, it's that curve. Are we going to be on the left side of the curve or the right side of the curve, right? And then the other thing would become eventually is like, as more and more Sikhs are here and they have kids and the kids start to assimilate, but if the kids start to claim their Sikh and Punjabi ancestry and culture and they start doing fuck shit, then it can start putting us on the right side of the curve. yo, look at these people, they're fucking hooligans, they do X, Y, Z, and etc. And so that's why I would always recommend and say to people, like, you need to be ready. You need to have strong ties to your culture, strong ties to your people, strong ties to your culture, your community, your religion, Sikhi, whatever, because they might not come for you today, they might not come for you tomorrow, but they will eventually come for you, your family, your bloodline. And so I think that's something that's always important that you're going to have to kind of have. Otherwise, one day shit will hit the fan and you're either prepared or you're not, man. And those are the deadliest days that you don't want to be like caught on the loose end. Carney's cabinet, I've been seeing some people complain like there's not that many Sikhs in it. One of the ministers is a Sikh. 2 of the secretary positions have gone to, like, one to Randeep Sarai and one to Ruby Bath, I believe. Like, I don't care. Like, if the government's doing well and the country is doing well, and then that leads to Sikhs doing well, right? Because Sikhs always thrive if the country overall thrives, because we're just always in, like, perfect positions to do well. I have no problem with that, man. Because if Sikhs are doing well, then the Sikh community at large is going to be doing fine. LOL, I forgot I could do this. And so I have no issue with that at all. Some people on Twitter I see are, like, complaining and being like, Pierre would have been better because of that. Like, honestly, I don't care. Like, it's just such a stupid point to even, like, feel fucking all bummed up about and shit. We're gonna take a little mid-roll break. And House of Johal, houseofjohal.com, use promo code E2 for a 20% discount on the 2 shirts that have been released. The Olympic poster shirt and the wrestling shirt available now while limited quantities last. If you guys like this merch drop, we will do another one in the future. Use code E2 at checkout to get 20% discount, which will probably be about, like, a total order with including taxing and shipping and all that stuff will be about, like, $80. Quality's great. It's like it's like a fear of God shirt, basically. In the quality and, like, the way it flows and stuff. It's oversized as well, so be prepared for that. So check it out, houseofjohal.com. Website will be in the description, and yeah, definitely check it out. What else is on my docket? It's crazy because, like, I had this whole thing planned to talk about, and I didn't even talk about any of it. Like, I literally just started going off on this, like, Sikhi thing, and then it just boom. Okay. I wanted to kind of talk about the Khalsa school days, because I was thinking about this. And Khalsa school, for those of you who do not know, is specifically mentioning the Khalsa school in Surrey. This is where I went to school. And it was perhaps the greatest look at this little cutie. Aww. It was perhaps one of the greatest experiences I've ever had in my life. I am pretty sure this was, like, my classroom at one point. Like, I'm looking at this, I'm like, this literally reminds me of my classroom. Where is it? So this Khalsa School Newton is, for those of you who don't know, a school it's basically a school that, like, teaches, it's a private school that also has, like, Sikhi in it, right? Like, what else do I fucking say? And it was the greatest. Like, any dumbass who tells you later on that Khalsa school sucked is because they're actually, like, a social idiot themselves, not because the school system was bad. It was kind of a case where, like, the inmates ran the asylum, where, like, we could just do whatever we wanted because all the non-brown teachers are, like, pretty clueless to, like, what's kind of going on. And so every single grade, every single year, I had an amazing experience. And I mean, I'm happy I did switch to public school after. These are actually some of my homies. Harmon Gill, he's a go. He was one of my, I shouldn't even be, like, doxing these guys, but a couple of my buddies are actually in that picture. You can see it for yourself. I don't want to just, like, elaborate, but, like, the gym, like, Khalsa school had so many moments that, like, were just so goated, man. Like, this Mr. Ball PE teacher, Mrs. Kelly, she's the girl PE teacher. I was the go. Mr. Party, I was the principal when I was there. There was just, like, like besides like the average like learning experience, like you could just get away with doing so much stuff. Like it was like it was like real life brown Twitter, because every single day there would be like we would be getting into debates about like Jats and Pape, or like Mulveys versus Duabe and like the Madja. Like we would get into these debates about last names and like all the like loon versus noon. Like that was like stuff we would talk about when we were at Khalsa school in like grade 5 and 6. It was like real life brown Twitter. And like I remember during lunchtime, me and the boys, one of them would like sneak their iPod in, and we found a place where like the teachers or no one would walk by. He'd play like Punjabi music, and we would just play Pabi. Like that was basically the experience we had. And like I want to get somebody that's also been to Khalsa school before, because then we could like reminisce about that life. But Khalsa school was one of the best experiences. The people that ended up becoming kind of like weird because of it is because there was like this weird stigma, like, oh, you went to Khalsa school, so you're weird. But in actuality, it's because your parents because you didn't get to go to Khalsa school, it's actually because your parents were poor and they had to send you to a shitty public school where, you had to like share granola bars amongst everybody because like it's poor. Whereas like when we went to Khalsa school, like everybody used to get like 6 textbooks that you owned, like workbooks. So like remember this book? For you on the west coast, like Math Makes Sense 6. Like I remember this book very well. These books came with workbooks, and you used to get them like when you paid your tuition. Like you actually got better quality stuff. And like for the first few years after I'll also say this: all the people I went to Khalsa school with, they all ended up at university. Even if they left at grade 7, they all ended up going to university. A lot of the kids that just went through public school into public elementary school to public high school, some of them just flopped out. Khalsa school does actually have a way for like greatness and like bettering you. And I think you would actually better have your kid ready for success going through the Khalsa school system. And I 100% will, like on my dying day, will say that this, like right here, this practice and home workbook, you actually get one with a spine. It's not even in a binder. It's like the legit thing. And like they would give you those copies. Like everybody would get their own. Like it's actually pretty, like, and it was just such funny times, like certain teachers, certain everything. I'm definitely gonna have to find somebody who went to Khalsa school who I can share these memories with. And it was just like, the only thing that sucked about it was like extended kirtan, but like there was just all these amazing memories from going there. I'm definitely gonna have to do an episode where I bring somebody who went to Khalsa school to talk about it, because otherwise I'm just not gonna do any of these Khalsa school stories justice. I think that's cool for today. I'm getting like calls from some of my homies to go like ball out. I might run another stream later in the night and do like a part 2, but definitely check out House of Joe Hall. Subscribe if you haven't. The official theme song for E Squared has officially been released. A lot of people have been asking. All right, back after a few hours playing pickleball with the family. I asked out on Instagram if there's anybody else who went to Khalsa school. They can give me some of their stories. I did not find any, so I'm going to have to try to remember as many of my stories as possible. All right, first, right off the rip, this reminds you of, there was a period in class, or like you had blocks. One of the blocks was literally Gurdwara period, where you would simulate what Gurdwara was like. And so everybody would come and sit down, and you would like sit in rows. I think like the younger grades sat across, and then the older grades sat like rows or columns. And then the white teachers are so fucking clueless about what was going on, and it was literally like in this hall right here that you see. Some of the white teachers are so clueless of what was going on, like I swear to God, it's like they took a napkin and they just put the napkin on their head, but some of the teachers were like, all right, we get it, this is part of our job, I'm gonna have to like tie a rumal. So like they actually, like some teachers actually like tied bandanas on their head, and like just that was all day, and that just like their style. And it was kind of cool. It kind of like harkens back to the whole like Marja Ranjit Singh situation, where you have all these Farangis that are joining the army, and then Ranjit Singh was like, no one's going to respect you if you don't have a beard and wear a pug. So like there's one story of this one guy, gardener, Ranjit Singh, Alexander Gardner, this absolute beast of a man who joined Ranjit Singh's army, and like that's literally him. Like he's a Scottish guy from like the Midwest, and like he joined, and he's like, all right, I guess we're gonna ball out. And then I'm not sure if he like, the thing was is like once like the Sikhs started losing the wars and stuff, half these guys dipped out and stuff. And even like this character right here, Allard, again, Ranjit Singh. This guy right here, Jean-Francois Allard. I'm pretty sure he was like, what's this guy's background? I think he was in Napoleon's army. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Jean-Francois Allard, born in Saint-Tropez, was a French soldier adventurer. Allard served in Napoleon's armies where he was twice injured. He was promoted to the rank of captain of the French 7th Hussar Regiment after the Battle of Waterloo. So he like fought in the like utmost jung. He drifted going to Persia, where he visited Abbas Mirza to propose his services. He was promised the rank of colonel, but never actually received the troops corresponding to his function. In 1820, Allard left for Punjab, or in 1820, blah, blah, blah. And then, yeah, he basically fought for Ranjit Singh and stuff. But the thing is like, paid mercenaries, like, if you read, like, Machiavelli and stuff, they'll always tell you, like, paid mercenaries only do so much. As soon as, like, tide shift to the battle, like, they're dundos. And that's kind of, like, always the situation, all wars across history. Like, if you have to pay your military, they get a say, basically, of, like, how you're treating them. And they could basically be like, yo, we fucking hate you. You're being a piece of shit. And that was basically a situation where these guys all, once stuff got tough, they're not like, we're going to hold it down for the Khalsa. Of course, they don't care. Like, bye. But, yeah, so, like, back to Khalsa school, they basically had all these Farangis wearing, like, rumals and, like, having to cover their hair and all that stuff all the time, which is, like, super dope. And so the average day would basically be, like, the average day would start where, for me, I was a troublemaker, man, from day one. Like, I'm a contrarian. You think when you say stuff about me wearing a bandana that, like, it's bothering me? I love it. It's, like, feeding this, like, contrarian in me that loves to be a shit talker and, like, a shit starter. So, right off the rip, my mom taught at a school down the street, and I would basically, like, walk a bunch. So, my day would start always late. And so I'm always in shit. And they had like a desi punishment style where they're like, motherfucker, you're late. Stand outside the door. We will come and get you once we feel like it. And I was late every single fucking day. Every single day I was late. And the teacher knew, just like, yeah, fuck this guy. And then eventually they would let me in. And so whatever your regular classes, you have them. And then one class would be Gurdwara period. And so Gurdwara period would come around, and then everyone has to go. You sit down, and then like every single day, it was like a different class's turn to do like the seva. So like, let's say it was our class's turn. We'd all matha take, and everybody, like the teacher, like a Gora teacher would get to decide, like, all right, you're going to give out the prashad, you're going to do the chor seva, and then like you guys are going to get to be on the computer to like do the Sikhi to the max situation. And so like everybody would basically beef, and there was some sort of rotation method. And so you would get there, and the 4 or 5 kids chosen for Degsa would go run into the Deg room, grab a saropa that's like been so oily and gross from like all like the 6 other classes that have used it already in that day. And you sit to the side, and now you just get to wait, and you think you're a pimp because you're like getting to sit to the side, and you don't have to like sit with the peasants in the columns. And then if you were like in the Chor Seva department, you got to sit beside behind Guru Granth Sahib and then wait your turn to do Chor Seva, like every 5-10 minutes you shuffle. But the best one was doing the computer thing where you get to like correspond the shabd that they're playing to the Sikhi to the max situation. And in that, it was just chill because you can sit beside the guy and just talk. Like you two are just talking because there's like a little cabinet. You guys just talk to each other while everything's happening. If someone's like, hey, you're making too much noise, you just quiet down. And they're like, why are you talking so much? Like, oh, we got to figure this out. And so some dumbasses had like no idea of any situation in Punjabi, and they would just fumble the bag so hard trying to figure it out. And then like the best like flex was like picking the screensaver. So remember like the pipes screensaver? This was my go-to that I used to always pick. So like pipes, Windows, screensaver. Right here. this used to be my go-to. Like, and a lot of people, we just thought it was nuts, and then everyone got to just stare at this. You know, every autistic person there just getting a little laugh out of this. And this was like, wow, you did computer seva, bro. And so basically how it ended up working is that my cousin is here. He's gonna jump on the stream. Well, you're already on the stream, dog. It's too late. You want to go up and hide?
No, I want to record it. I was gonna ask you to help me edit a video, bro.
I'm not gonna help you edit no video. Here, grab the mic. My cousin is here. He's a shit starter.
I'm not.
All right, here. Let's give you some volume.
Bro, I want to stream right now, man.
Yeah. All right. Here, hold up. Let me get this guy. I knew he was going to come. And so, okay. There, talking to Mike?
Yo.
All right. Talking to Mike a little more?
Yo.
Okay, you're good to go. All right. So, as you can see, my cousin here he's a Farangi. He has blue eyes. he has green eyes. And why is that, Vince? His name's Vincent. Why is that, Vince? Why do you have green eyes?
I'm mixed, you know. I got the Persian.
What do you mix between?
Persian, Punjabi, Russian, whatever you.
So he's 1/4 Russian. Quarter Russian, and then half Punjabi straight. His dad's Punjabi, and then your mom's Persian, and then they've got that Russian mix going on. And so this guy has been coming over last few days, and he's been asking me about Sikhi and stuff.
Yeah.
He's been very interested about the religion. And so we had an interesting debate the other day where I was showing him the rock at Panja Sahib. So for those of you who don't know, I
wasn't disproving it. I was just trying to understand it.
You were kind of like, man,
it's good to be skeptical.
Some motherfucker made that shit.
You gotta be skeptical.
That's what you were. Some motherfucker made that shit.
Now you gotta be skeptical in these things, man.
Sometimes you need faith, doggy. Sometimes you need faith. And so basically I was explaining to him this, but what was trippy is like the average, like here's the thing, you know that the average boomer, like if you went to Nanni and you were like, oh, that rock at Panja Sahib, you started asking questions, she's like, Baskat, like, why are you asking? Shut up. You know, like she's not gonna explain it to you. The part that like made this mystery crazier is this. So if you go to Wyoming hand marks in the White Mountain, there's only one other place in the world that has something this trippy. Where if you go to the Wyoming,
but that looks different though. Like if you look at the well, I don't know the name.
The Panja Sahib rock.
If you look at the Panja Sahib like handprint, it's much different. That looks.
It's
like
much
clay.
different, but what's the trippy part here is that. What? You can close the door. The trippy part here is that these look like a swipe in a rock that was like butter, like literally like if it was like snow almost, right? But now it's like a calcified rocks, which is like trippy because. If this was like lava at some point, like how are you gonna touch it multiple times, right? But so like let's say like this, right? Like this almost seems like it was done on accident, whereas the Panja Sahib rock looks like it was more done like deliberately.
It looks lasered on.
Yeah, he thinks it's lasered on or like whatever.
I think it's like molded on like some katana thing. You know how they smell, or like molten. Like you know you can make sure you keep talking
in the mic.
Yeah, you can make like handprints or something like that, but.
Yeah, no, I understand your skepticism. Like you're like are now getting into like the spirituality of stuff because you've been around so many like lulle, and so I think the trippy part here is the fact that like as you see around the rock, it seems like there's like a heat treatment that's happened, where like it's not just something as simple as like let's even say he had the spiritual power to do something like. But it seems like there's something more going on because the area around it is like heated up. This could be like this is also trippy in itself, right?
Well, I was thinking too, but the other thing, the rocks are the oxidation. I think that's what it is on the rocks. That orange rust. I think that's due to that.
Yeah, so it could have been that once the hand was pressed, that then it oxidized, right? With like insane because if you were doing this on a regular rock, you would need insane heat, right? Like physics wise. You would need insane heat to make this happen. And so I think it's whatever. It's a mystery. I don't have the answers. All I can say is like, look at
I was
this.
thinking, what if you burn it on there? You heat up the rock, you get your hand very, very like wet, and you get like a heat print.
Yeah, but now here's the problem. I told you this before. To get it that hot is basically impossible. In that time, in the 1500s, you would need like a solar furnace. You would need to do something so insane to do it, right? Or the story is just the...
Just blocked it.
Yeah, he just fucking... He touched it like a goat. Hold up one sec. Okay. I need to grab a better wire for that mic, but it's all good. All right. I have no clue. It doesn't tell you how many people are in it, and I think it's good because when it goes up and down, it could trip you out, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
So you start feeling, but we got some comments. Yo, Super Doge 7.
That's pretty
Super
sick.
Dodge 7. Love the content. Just binged all 3 episodes on YouTube. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that. So he's been having questions, so I will start to answer them.
I was gonna ask you to help me freaking learn how to edit.
We can do that later, man.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
fine.
We can always end up doing that.
Yeah.
The thing is that like he has a conception of like religion as like it's just meant to like be a good person, right? And I think a lot of people have that conception, like, oh, just be good, right? The problem is that like that doesn't matter really, because everybody and everything, especially weak people, will always tell you to be good.
Yeah.
Right? A weak person will just be a good guy, right? The thing is that spirituality is meant to take you from just like being like, okay, he loves anime, so I'll use a lot of like anime references. In anime, right? In Full Metal Alchemist, the idea of alchemy is like turning anything into gold, essentially, right? Like they want to turn lead into gold. And I think the like esoteric version of alchemy is that like the human spirit, you need to take yourself from being iron, which is like a piece of shit, to gold, which means that through philosophy, through better living, through all these things, you can become gold. And like the average person cannot do these things because they're normies. So we're going to withhold all this crazy spiritual esoteric shit, right? Sikhi, on the other hand, is like, nah, this is free base, open source. Everybody and anybody can basically get into the process to do this, right? And so like you're lucky because you get like through your Punjabi heritage, and anybody technically who can become a Sikh, you get like a
what's good?
Yo, Kidan, J Money, yo, what's up? You basically are able to get a piece of the pie just by birthright.
I think it also gives me an outside understanding too.
You gotta talk right into the mic.
It gives me like an outside understanding too.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
You're gonna have to talk. Yeah, you have an outside understanding because you've been around Gode and whatever, and like you're gonna look at it through that conception of like a doubt. But have you ever seen The Last Crusade? The Indiana Jones movie?
Maybe, I don't remember.
Okay, so there's a very interesting, and I remember this one Singh showed me the scene way back in the day, and it like left such a like impact on me because of like what it meant. So Last Crusade tests. So basically, do you know the whole Holy Grail?
Yeah.
Okay, so for those you don't know, the Holy Grail is that they believe that Jesus drank from a chalice, a cup, and if you can find that cup and drink from it, something cool happens to you. Everyone says some shit along the lines of like immortal life, right? So this movie, The Last Crusade, Indiana Jones has to find the Holy Grail, and which is like, as far as conspiracies go, it's probably one of the best like all-time conspiracies besides like how it was Egypt, Atlantis, like it's up there, you know? And so in the 3 tests, he has to do 3 tests, Indiana Jones, in this situation. So the first one is there's like these invisible blades going, and his father's dying, and basically the reason why he agrees to try to get the Holy Grail in front of all these Nazis is so he can give his water, he can give his dad water from the Holy Grail to heal him, right? So that's what this is. So the first test is some bullshit. It's just like a bunch of saw blades spinning. It's nothing like amazing. And so the first thing is because his dad was like obsessed, so his dad found like all these clues, and the first one is a penitent man or whatever, which means, and he's about to say it. A penitent man is humble. A penitent man is humble, kneels before God. He doesn't get cut by the saw blade or whatever, which is like such a reach, in my opinion. It's such a reach, but it is what it is.
I'm through!
You gotta get a stand for this thing.
Yeah, we'll get one. So, and you can't even hear anything, right?
No, I can't hear nothing.
Okay, hold up.
I can assume though.
Can you hear something now?
Yeah, slightly.
That's as good as it's gonna get.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so the second one is the Word of God, which is like, how do you spell Jehovah? How do you spell Jesus' name? Jesus' name originally is Jehovah in the Bible, which is technically bullshit because Jesus is not God. But whatever. That's just me getting nitpicky.
But in the Latin alphabet, Jehovah begins with an I.
And so in that alphabet, that's the whole like, whoa thing, you know?
What is wrong there?
Yeah. He had to do it. It's like Ehova or whatever, I guess. So whatever he does, he gets across. Now this is the part that always stuck with me. So there's like an illusion where it looks like there's no bridge or anything, but the idea is like if you have true faith, you have true belief, the leap of faith.
Well, it's been portrayed in so many movies though.
Exactly. The leap of faith is always like the ultimate form of devotion, where, and like Sikhi has all these stories about it. Like every religion will have the leap of faith story because I think it's like the most integral thing to all religions, which is like you need to have the step to just like put yourself and be like, I don't know shit, fuck it, I'm gonna like give myself up to the path. And so that's what this guy does. And so like he just walks, he truly believes for a second, and it's like, oh my god, and then you like realize it's like an illusion. Whatever. And then that's it, right? And so that scene always stuck with me because it was like the whole idea that like a penitent man, a religious man will look, he doesn't look before he leaps. He truly just believes that God be that guy. You know? Oh, I'm just putting the chill music, Dougie. Like, I know you've known like so many dumb dippers, and like if you ask them about this stuff, they're just be like, what the fuck are you talking? Like, I have no clue. And so you kind of didn't get the ability to interface with people in a way that could actually teach you. And then your dad obviously isn't like Amritari or anything, and Nanni's not. What's Nanni gonna teach you? You know?
She knows a lot though.
She knows so much, but like see, the thing is, you don't know this, but like within Sikhi, there's like a lot of sects and a lot of people that believe different things. And so Nanni doesn't believe in Dasam Granth, or a part of it. Okay? So there's a Guru Granth Sahib, as you know, and then Guru Gobind Singh Ji, the last living Guru, wrote another text called the Dasam Granth. Dasam being 10, Granth meaning like text, right? And so we in the modern day look at it as like, if your dad is gonna give his son's advice, right? What's the one thing that a dad must prepare his son for in the world when it comes to people? No. What kind of people do the most annoying shit to men? Exactly. So Guru Gobind Singh Ji writes this whole thing called Chitropikyan, and Chitropikyan is like, it's like an ecchi. It's like the equivalent of an anime ecchi. An ecchi is basically like super sexual fucked up shit. But my Nanni, who's a boomer or beyond a boomer, she just can't like, she cannot fathom that the guru would write something so like perverted, right? But if you look at it, like the stories are like women will fake rape, right? They'll fake a lot of this shit and say that this happened. And in Chitropikyan, basically, the first story, so the story is like this, right? It's prefaced like this. It's like an anthology. You know what an anthology is? Yeah. So the story is that there's a king, and the king is married to this super hot bitch. And that bitch starts having the hots for the king's son. But the king's son is like now like this meditating kind of guy, and he's like he's not going for it. Yeah. And so what ends up happening is she makes a pass at the son, and the son rejects her, and then the wife goes to the king, is like, your son tried to rape me. And then the father throws the son in prison, and then his advisor comes up to him and goes, listen, women be lying, and now let me tell you stories about women be lying. and then he basically goes into like super detail about this. So let me show you some crazy stories. Chitropikyan, translation English. And what's also wild about it is that like Guru Gobind Singh Ji writes it in like a poetic form. So he's not just like writing, like it's actually like super poetic, you know?
Yeah.
So this is the main story. Let's see. It is all of Dasamgran or Chitropikyan. Tales of male female tricky deceptions from Siri Dasamgran. Women's be tricky, bro. And so Nani hates this. Nani looks at this as like this is the most fucked up thing.
Well, she is a woman.
Yeah, she's a woman. So, but like also
Right.
also that era, like they're dumb boomers, right? Like to them, this is just like this is just too much. Like I can't handle any of this. All right, let's see. There's one story that's so fucking like crazy. Chitra 2, Tale Raja Chitra Singh and Rani Chitravati. There lived. Let's see. Like, look, watch this. Control F. Semen. Okay, this one's a crazy one, right? Chitra 3, right? Tale of a girl of Kalpi town. The Raja put the son in the prison, and early next morning he called him over. Then his minister commenced narrating thus. So the minister's telling the story. And so this is the story. There lived a girl in a town. She had 2 lovers. One was thin and lean, and the other a fat one. She was very pretty and possessed the eyes like of an antelope. She had full consciousness of understanding the highs and lows of the life. She used to live in the town of Kalpi and indulge in all sorts of lovemakings. Basically, calling her a hooer. That with the eyes of a deer, and with her exquisiteness, she made the moon to feel shy. I mean, you can argue how it also shows how stupid men can be. That is also true. There's also stories where show like men basically give away all their wealth, all their kingdoms. They fucking let go of their good wives and their children for some pussy. But you know what's really funny about this is I've said that to a girl once. Your eyes make the moon feel shy, and it worked. Shout out Gobind Singh. Okay. Her fat lover was old, but the other, the young one, was slender. I don't know what's like a fat fuck versus like a skinny one. Like, do you wonder? Is it like the skinny one was who's that guy who was with the Kim after Kanye? The P. Davidson. Is it like that's the comparison? It's like Harvey Weinstein versus Pete Davidson. Day in and day out, she kept on making love with them. A young female is captivated by a young man, and the old man is enchanted by an old woman, and the whole world knows his habitude. The lady always enjoyed making love with the slender person, but hesitated to go near the fat one. Fatty bombate. She always repented after making love with the old one. I wonder why she was doing it then. Bitches be crazy, I guess. Once when she was passionately... This is the part that's crazy. Once when she was passionately involved with the young man, the fat lover came back and knocked at the door of the lady. She suggested to the young lover to break the door and run, as some sinner had come and would tie them both. She had made the thin friend to acquiesce to her request, got up and stood before the old man. While getting up in haste, the drops of semen fell on the floor, which were noticed by the fatso. And he asked woman to disclose the mystery, and she informed, on the sight of your handsome face, I could not control myself. This is chapter 2, bro. And the stories just get crazier and crazier and crazier than this. And then as a result of the semen from my body dripped down. Guru Gobind Singh.
Like, this is 100%?
100%. This is like not like, no. If you talk to Nandi, she shouldn't be like the Hindus wrote this to basically make the Guru Gobind Singh into some pervert. But we all go like this is like OG spiritual manosphere stuff right here. He wrote this in the early 1700s, late 1600s. There's 405 chapters. Correct, sir. There are 405 chapters.
That's fucked up.
And so Nani would just be like, hell no. My mom, my mom will have like a different kind of view. She believes in and stuff, but she has like a more measured. But you and me, we know bitches be crazy. Why did he write it though? So basically the guru was red pilled, exactly. But it was spiritually red pilled because there's some situations where they tell you that women be crazy, and some situations would be like men are so horny they'll fuck everything up for some pussy.
They both got some flaws.
Yeah, they
right?
both got some flaws. So the guru is basically writing these stories to explain to us, if you take Amrit as like the sons and daughters of the guru, that like you have to be aware that you might be on some spiritual level, but you cannot escape some of these things, and the world will not let you escape these things either.
These are some of the most like drastic examples though.
Oh, 100%. But you're not gonna write
For
the most like
average,
you're not gonna write the most chilled out example, right?
Yeah.
Like there's this guy, he's a philosopher in the Indian world. His name is Chanakya. This guy right here. And so Chanakya is from 375 BC, like 2,000 years ago, basically. And he wrote these books, and in one of these books he basically wrote something along the lines of women eat 3 times more than men, women cry more times than 2 times more than men, women are emotional 5 times more than men, and women are hornier 10 times more than men.
The food part depends on the woman part.
Yeah, but basically that's what he's wrote.
We
And
be eating a lot.
yeah, men be eating a lot, but think about like what the average like go-to woman experience is. Let's go out and eat, right? Men are down to eat, and we are like we become fatzos in our own way, but like women also consume. Like women consume a lot, right? And so basically, whatever, he's a philosopher. He writes this, and Chanakya, he is studied in the Taksal, which is like the University of Sikhs.
Yeah.
So they study his works, and like look, he's his nickname, the Indian Machiavelli. It's like Machiavelli. So just like imagine the type of crazy shit that this guy was gonna start like talking about and saying. And so Chitropikyan is just full of crazy stories like that. Like number 3 right off the bat, but like some of them are super long, some of them are short. I think like, yeah, as homie said, there's like 405 different stories. Like let's just see. I wonder how many have semen in them. 16. Let's see another one.
I mean, there's 2 in one story.
When Munni's semen fell on the ground, then Roomba managed to seize it. This one sounds hilarious. Chitra 108. How long is this one? Damn, this one's pretty long. We need to like chat GPT and just be like, what is good? Whoa, what is? Let's just ask if we can figure it out. Okay, Control C. Summarize this chapter.
You should check out the comments too. Yeah.
The whole Dasam Granth is essentially a big FU to Hinduism that absolutely dismantles Hindu thought. Frankly, if I was Hindu, I would call it Hindu phobic. Summarize this chapter of Chitropikyan. Alright, let's see if you can do it. Or it. Or whatever. Sorry, gods of AI. Alright, summary of the tale. Sassi, born to the Raja Bambor, was prophesied at birth to bring dishonor to the royal family. To avert this, she was abandoned and later found and raised by a washerman. As she matured, tales of her beauty reached Punu. This is gonna be like I don't know what it is. It's gonna be like an Oedipus complex situation, I guarantee it. And later found and raised by washermen. As she matured, tales of her beauty reached Punu, the prince of Gesh. Disguised as a trader, Punu traveled to Bambor, met Sassi, and they fell deeply in love. So he's basically falling in love with his own daughter. Gross. Despite societal differences, they married. However, Punu's brother disapproved of the union. They Wait, no. Dishonor to avert this, she's banned. I think Punu's a different character. Yeah. It's a prince of Kesh. It's a different person. My bad. They deceitfully intoxicated him during the celebration, abducted him back to Kesh. Upon discovering his absence, Sassi embarked on a perilous journey through the desert to find her husband. Enduring immense hardships, she ultimately perished in the desert. Her love and determination immortalized. Oh, I guess this is actually a nice story. That like women are ride or dies. The series Chitropikyan, attributed to Guru Gobind Singh, comprises whatever, calls the story of Sassi Pannu is one of the quintessential tragic romances in South Asian folklore, particularly revered in Sindhi, Balochi, and Punjabi tradition. Okay, so I guess the story in this one is like women actually be like down, and if you fuck up or like let people fuck up, see, it's like kind of on the both sides, right? It's not just fully like these are stupid, but on homie's comment over here that this is the situation, right? This is how I would talk about it, right? Like Guru Gobind Singh Ji kind of gave like the in to a lot of these Hindus like so many times to be like, yo, like we're down to fuck with you, just stop being a bunch of fuddus. But they at every point they're like, nah, I think we'll be fuddus. Because there's like this really famous story where Guru Gobind Singh Ji is like, I'm gonna send my Singhs out to the Brahmins, because the Brahmins are like the most educated, right? Like they kind of had like the monopoly on information, Sanskrit, all that kind of stuff. And he's like, I'm gonna send my Singhs to you, like my Sikhs, and they're gonna learn from you, and you're gonna teach them all the ways of all these crazy texts, the everything, the Mansumriti, the Vedas, the Puranas, everything. And the Hindus, being Fuddus, were like, hey, if you're such a great guru and you're so intelligent, you do it yourself. And then he's like, all right, fuck you then. And then basically, he sent out the Sikhs in secret, and they like blended in with the Hindus, got all the knowledge, and they came back. And then those people became Nirmalas, I think. Let me just confirm this. Yeah, they became these guys. So they like almost kind of look Hindu coded, but they're fully like nerds. They're like the nerds of the Panth. Like super smart, super intelligent. They know everything. Like they're like super about it. And so that was basically like, there was a bit of like, these guys are kind of jaloux and gay, and there's like so many stories of like Hindus doing like lame shit to Sikhs and stuff, you know. But yeah, back to the Rock. So do you have any questions so far, good sir?
No, man. Just came to chill. Just chilling.
Yeah, now you're caught in my stream.
I know,
I had to throw you into the deep end because I know sometimes you're too scared.
No, bro, I was coming, you know, I watched this like comic playlist YouTuber, right? And I was trying to figure out how to edit like him, so I was like, shit, maybe, you know.
Don't worry, we'll get there, man. Editing ain't going anywhere, but right now we got mouths to feed, brother. We got minds to feed.
Do you think?
The Guru also writes a Chitra where he is himself is in it, which is wild. The one with Anup Kaur. The one with Anup Kaur. I feel like you're making a joke. The Guru also writes a Chitra where you gotta give me some more details, bro, because either you're making like a joke about Anup Kaur from Twitter. Nah, okay, let's see. Anup Kaur.
Control F on the.
Is there? Oh yeah. That's a
Control
good
F on
idea.
the link thing.
All right, here we go. Anup. Oh my God. Chitra 22, Tale of Anup Kaur. When the Raja heard that the call, we gotta first see how long it is. Oh my God, that's so long. There's like a bunch of them.
Let's chat GPT, man.
Yeah, we gotta chat GPT. Summarize the story about. I haven't gone fully into Dasam Granth. I'm gonna be like fully honest with you. Like I know about it. I've once read through it all in like a haze of like just get it done. In a collection of moral narratives attributed to Guru Gobind Singh, this period, Anup Kaur is portrayed as a woman who becomes enamored with the rule of Anand Prasad, often interpreted as Guru Gobind Singh Ji. She attempts to seduce him, naughty, but the ruler resists her advances, demonstrating steadfast and virtuous. This narrative serves as allegorical lessons on the importance of self-control and the dangers of succumbing to lustful desires. It's important to know that Chitropikyan contains numerous tales that use fictional characters and scenarios. Yeah, we get that part. Yeah, so I mean, like, it's pretty, like, wild, but Dasam Granth is also wild in it because, and I know this part's going to completely trip you out, and, like, one part of Dasam Granth is called Bachitra Natak, where Guru Gobind Singh Ji gives a biography of his previous life. Not his current one, his previous one. And in it, he talks about, like, he was like this king, and then he was like, yo, fuck this, I'm gonna go into the mountains, I'm just gonna meditate, and then like all this crazy shit ends up happening. And then if you've ever seen this picture, I think Nani has a picture of this at the house. It's called Hemkund Sahib, where it's like a Gurdwara in the middle of them fucking mountains in India.
That's pretty trippy.
And like and it's like frozen during part of the year, and like they say this is the location, but the thing is, like, this is like one of those Bible things where it's like they're using like context clues to figure out, like, the story is it's like 7 peaks, like he meditated between 7 peaks, and you know, whatever. I mean, not doubting, but Jawala Singh said not to take it too literally. Yeah, I mean, some things, like, here's the thing, I tell this to my cousin all the time, is like even these like stories are like Panja Sahib with the rock, right? Like, cool, it exists there, but like we don't have the mentality like Muslims or Christians do, where like Christians' whole thing is like Jesus walked on water, Jesus turned Jesus turned water into wine, Jesus resurrected himself, the Lazarus effect, and they use it as a way to like justify the religion being like real and like him being the son of God. Muhammad, the same thing, his miracles, right? The Gurus, on the other hand, call them like dumb magic tricks. They're like, if you get to this level, sure, you'll be able to do stuff, but they're actually just stupid, retarded magic tricks. Who cares? If Chitropikyan was taught / normalized, think of how many communal problems would be solved. No problems would be solved because our culture is still super retarded. And one of my buddies is going to be on. He's like a super expert at this stuff, and he's going to talk about the different the Amritsar Singh Sabha and the Lahore Singh Sabha. Like, we lost the plot after the British came, because when the British came, there was this weird thing that the Sikhs had to do, is where we had to like kind of like, what's the word? Like, we kind of had to basically be like, yo, please accept us. Like, we also have a book that we pray to. Like, your guys have the Bibles. Like, we kind of had to like make ourselves seem like normalized to how they viewed religion, because the British view of religion and like what Sikhs are doing was like completely different. So I just tripped the fuck out of them, and we kind of like are still haunted by that ghost from that time. And so who knows how the fuck that's gonna end up going in the future. And so also, like, Punjabis deal with the cultural aspect of us being like just complete fucking goombas. But the point is like these magic tricks, like, they really mean nothing, you know? Like, have you seen like okay, like, you're a wrestler. My cousin, he's like a crazy wrestler. If you were gonna go wrestle and some guy is like, you guys are standing there ready to wrestle, and he goes, I'm not gonna wrestle you, I'm better than you, why should I wrestle? You're gonna be like, shut the fuck up and wrestle, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, these things, right? The things that really matter here are the message. They don't go like, yo, look, I did a magic trick, just trust me, bro. Just trust me, man. Like, I'm on some shit. They go, yeah, we did these things, but trust the message. Like, trust the things that we're actually saying. Those things are dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyways, what's up, man? You tell me what's good.
I don't even know, I'm tired, bro. I don't know. I know you're streaming right now, man.
Yeah, I already had the mic prepared for you, because I knew you were gonna come. And, you know, you can have your chocolate bars and everything. And, you know, we played pickleball today like a bunch of old fucks.
Nah, it's
Now
fine.
we're back.
We beat them finally.
I was basically talking about like my Khalsa school journey, because
Sean went to Khalsa school.
no, he went to Sikh Academy. That's our other cousin.
Is it different?
It's completely different. They don't have the like cachet of being
What's
like.
the main differences?
The main difference is that if you go to Khalsa school, there's like a stink on you from like everyone basically being like, oh, you're Khalsa schoolian, bro, like you're fucking you're fag, you went to Khalsa school. That caused a lot of people, like, did you have anybody in your grade or class that went to Khalsa school?
No, I went to public school, so
Yeah, but like, did anybody come from Khalsa school to your grade?
nah.
So the problem was is that because it was like so old, there was like a weird stink on it where it's like, you went to Khalsa school, so you're probably a fuddu.
Yeah.
And so like there's like baggage that people have to prove themselves that like, no, I'm just like you guys. I'm fucked up and I'm a dirty Yenni and I do crazy shit. Like a lot of the slutty girls came out of Khalsa school, and a lot of the fucking dudes that ended up becoming like gangbangers came out of Khalsa school because of this like chip on your shoulder that like you went to Khalsa school, right? But the way I explained it was like, it was the fucking best, man. Like, it was a situation where the inmates are running the asylum, and it did prepare you better. Like, every single person that I knew from my grad class, people that were in my grade, in my classes throughout, almost every single one of them ends up going into university. It's like, they do train you a lot better to handle high school, and then
Private school, isn't it? Like, pretty much.
yeah, it is a private school. But again, like, turn the music down a little. All right, brother. So sorry about that, mate. That should be good. It is a private school, but it just had that stank on it, man. Like, it wasn't like there's a school called Crofton House. This is where the richest bitches go. Okay? Like, my friend, she went, and one of her friends owned the fucking soy sauce brand.
Which brand?
I'll show you. It's not Kiko, man. It's fucking. Fuck, I'm gonna have to go to Instacart to find this one, because I don't remember the name.
It's such a soy sauce brands.
Yeah, that would work. Soy sauce brands, West Canada.
Go to all, then click the link.
Let's see. I know which one it is because I use it, and then when she told me, I fucking tripped out. you to find my store. I just want to fucking look at what the fuck you got. Okay, let's just go say one food soy sauce. If you're... I mean, they could be out of business now. Like, they might have sold it, right? This was, like, way back. And, or they could have changed the bottling. Like, I have no... Like, I was never fucking, like... No one told me, you know? It might actually be, like, Kikuman, bro. The main one. Like, it's possible that it is that one. Actually, let's try, what's that sweet sauce called? Plum sauce?
Yeah. Sweet and sour.
Yeah, the sweet and sour sauce. LOL, we're going... This is, like, such a random rabbit hole to be going down. Yeah, I don't see it, man. They might have just fucking sold it. Whatever.
She was rich. Yeah.
She was rich as fuck. So one of her friends owned fucking a soy sauce company, and the other one basically owned like a part of like Rogers Arena.
That's fun.
So they could just go and like she would tell me like there was like house parties when they were in grade 12 where like fucking Hollywood actors were there. Like what? Like
where even is this?
It's in Vancouver and it's an all girls school. Like only bitches are allowed.
Oh yeah, that looks like a prep school.
Yeah, like it's preppy as fuck, man.
I think I've seen this. Yeah, my friend went here. I think.
It's only for girls.
Yeah, she's a girl.
Yeah, so
Asian girl.
yeah, it's very highly possible that she probably went here. Like no fucking joke, man. Like they take this shit like super seriously. And so then there's this one, and then there was there's a boys one. I forgot what it's called. And if you had a little bit more money, you went to South Point. Like if you're a brown dude with a little bit more money, and your parents weren't like dippered out, they'd probably send you to South Point Academy.
My school, dog.
And
terrible, man.
this is in South Delta basically. And so that was it. And so Khalsa School was like the dipper ghetto private school technically out of all the private schools.
Yeah.
So it just came with this like, you guys are fucking foodoos. And so like I would just basically say it as like if you let's put it this way. Your dipper parents wanted to probably send you there. They were just too broke to. Like most likely that's probably the case of like what really happened. This is crazy because this grad class was the first grad class and like half these guys are my buddies. Like fuck, I know crazy shit about these people. I probably should not be doxing them because that's not good. But like this guy's my boy right here. Like I still talk to him. This guy's my boy. I still talk to him. And like, yeah, one of the guys in this picture is dead.
And what's the difference of the other school then? Like the one that Sean went to?
Sikh Academy is much more newer, and then like some crazy shit happened where like their principal, like a fucking 6-7 cop cars pulled up and like arrested the guy. And so like you can only assume like what that was about. Like was he fucking like touching the kids or something? Like who the fuck knows, man. And like it just didn't have that same level extent of like a prestige to it. Like Sikh Academy was shittier than fucking Khalsa School. Just
you went to Khalsa school the whole time?
I went to Khalsa School until grade 7.
High school?
No, Khalsa School until grade 7, and then grade 8 to 12 I went to Tammy, and then I went to regular. Well, then I went to university, and then that was public school, right? But like I remember, so like there was like, again, I was telling people there was like a Khalsa School kids were treated like homeschooled. Exactly. They were treated like pariahs, man. But the thing was is that I can't explain to you like how thoughts on Khalsa School Old Yale. A bunch of my buddies ended up going to Old Yale. I remember in my grade, so when I was in grade 7, I think there was like a real fucking conundrum where they needed to have kids staying because too many were leaving, and it was like freaking them out. So they would get like alumni kids that we thought were cool to come and be like, yeah, Khalsa School's dope and stuff, but we're all just like, fuck this, we're leaving anyways, right? We're dumb kids, right? And so for me, I live here, I live close to Old Yale, and so they wanted to basically try to get kids that were closer to Old Yale to go there. So they sent me and a couple of my buddies and like all the kids that were close enough on a school bus trip where you get to see Old Yale. And they show you the facilities and stuff, and it's funny. You're in fucking grade 7, man. Like, you know, it's like, imagine being like a college D1 prospect or something, and they're like, check out our university. It's like that. Like, will you go to the school or not?
They did the my school too for high school.
I'm talking to Mike, man.
They did in the high school too. So
yeah, but you were a wrestler, so they wanted you to go to ND to wrestle. They also tried to get you to go to Tammy. Jesse Sahota and his brother, fucking losers.
No, they're cool.
I know you like them, but like
cool,
I shot on them on the one episode.
I fuck with them, man. They're cool.
Yeah, he likes them. Of course, man. He's a wrestler. He fucks with you guys. I just think they're fucking born dudes because they couldn't explain their party platform when they tried like selling it to us.
It was their first year, man. They're just trying to figure it out.
No, Jesse's been trying to run for a minute. Anyways, so what ended up happening was we went to Old Yale. We saw the facility and stuff, but they had the biggest bitch on earth running the show. I wonder if her fucking picture is here. Khalsa School, Old Yale, Bajwa. Let's see, is her picture anywhere? She was a literal... No, that's not. She was a literal fucking demon, bro. She was like the meanest person. Like, I can remember her yelling to this day. She was a fucking demon.
You didn't even go there?
We went and checked it out,
Just
but
for
as soon as we
visiting?
saw her, she started yelling at us, and we're just like, we're not going here. And so, fuck that, we dipped. And so we stayed basically in Newton until grade 10. So they try to get people to come in to get us to stay, but everyone is like going like, yo, we're going to Franker, we're going to Enver, we're going to PM, PR, everyone's dipping, right?
Yeah.
And so like that's why that picture you see of like the first grad class, it's like literally like they had like not 200, they had like 100 students, and they like dispersed amongst like 6 classes, and that was the grad class.
That's it?
Yeah, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 people. From like 100, just year after year, just getting watered down. People are like, yo, we do not want to have anything to do with this. But like what's crazy is like one of my buddies was telling me that like their programs are so nuts that, because he works there, he's like a pseudo teacher.
Yeah.
One of the chicks last year got like a $250,000 scholarship.
Yeah, it's like 100,000 right there.
Yeah, like $100,000 here. Like they will set you up for success, like without a doubt. Like I'm telling you
But
right
what are
now.
those schools though?
University of British Columbia Presidential
Oh,
Scholar, 15,000.
hell.
Kamalik Foundation Scholarship. That probably is like, it'll be towards your schooling, right? So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
45 plus 15, bro. Like that ain't like, that's basically your university is free, and like you could probably stay on campus. Like that's a pretty fucking awesome thing. But man, fuck your bunny, man. This guy
No,
owns
the
a bunny.
bunny's sick, bro.
This guy owns a bunny,
just a
and his
hater.
fucking room smells like a petting
No,
zoo.
it smells amazing. You're just a hater. He's a cute bunny.
Yeah, whatever, man.
He's a nice bunny. Timbu.
And so what was funny is I was telling it, like, so they had this Gurdwara period where, you know, you go to the Gurdwara,
Yeah, yeah.
it's like that, like it's like fake Gurdwara, and then everyone sits there and you fucking hate it. But you know what Gatka is, right?
Yeah, the sword stuff.
Yeah. So there's a teacher, and so sometimes he would show up if you had enough like talent in your grade, he would have a reason to show up to your to the Gurdwara period,
Yeah.
and he'd walk down the middle and he would do this like, but behind his back, so he'd be like this, and that was the signal for everyone who's in the class to go. And so the first week of the year, new people would join, and it was like tryouts
Is
basically.
it oral farming?
Yeah, he was oral farming low key, and it was like tryouts, like because everyone wanted to basically join because it's like a get out of jail free card for Gurdwara,
Yeah.
and for this other thing called extended kirtan. I will get into that as well. And so he would do that, and right when he does that, everyone fucking gets up, goes down, and it was hype. And it became such a problem because so many people wanted to join, and that like they had to do this thing where like girls on one day, boys on another day, like all the shit. But I don't really remember that. I just remember like we used to all just jet. And for me, I was like in 2 different akhadas, which is like 2 different crews, you can call it, that did Gatka.
Yeah.
One was called Shahid Baba Deep Singh, and then this one. But I wanted to fucking skip Gurdwara, so I would get up and go, and then they would always give you a hard time and be like, "Aren't you with those other guys and shit?" I'm like, nah, man. And so it was a fucking like, this is what I'm talking about. Like there was just like such a lawlessness with it.
Yeah.
Like in grade 5, during lunchtime and like during the winter months when it was raining and we wanted to kill time, we started playing poker with our teacher. Our teacher, we bought a poker set. She taught us how to play, and she would just sit there and play with us. And then like after a while, I was like, I think there was like an incident with it that like she was like, all right, I can't like do this anymore. And then we took the poker game elsewhere, and like we would just play with our own, and then people would come, and that was like some of my fondest memories because we would just talk shit and we would play. And then so yeah, there would be Gurdwara period, and then every Thursday was pizza day, $1 pizza per slice. And what was so awesome about that was our Gurdwara period was right before lunch, and Gurdwara the Gatka was in the Langar Hall where they served the pizza.
Yeah.
So it was like a fucking mosh pit to get a slice of pizza. And because we were right there, yeah, you got your money in your pocket, boom, get your fucking slices, dip. And it became such a fucked up scene that they ended up having to change the system near the end, where at the beginning of the day, the teacher would be like, okay, who wants a slice of pizza? You'd be like, me, whatever. You give your money, and then they would go down, and one person would basically give all the money from the class and grab the pizza and go up. Right? Like, I guess they finally figured out how to fix it, but I like the chaotic, like, yo, fucking punch people and get a spot in the line. And that cafeteria was so trash, bro. Like, did you have you had a cafeteria in ND, right?
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
It was like decent food.
it was fine. Yeah.
Okay, this place had 2 options on non-pizza days: a hot dog deep fried in fucking oil with just ketchup on it and
Yeah.
a bun, or a burger, which was a hash brown patty in a burger buns with a piece of lettuce
How
and
they have
ketchup.
that in it, like vegetarian?
Hash brown patty, like a
No, like
potato.
the hot dog.
Oh, it was a veggie hot dog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that was it. Dude, that's actually so funny. That reminds me. One guy used to secretly bring chicken burgers, and that's what he used to eat. Like, you couldn't bring meat,
Yeah.
and he'd bring chicken burgers on the regular. We never said anything. We just thought it was fucking hilarious. And then, like, dude, but now the stories I hear coming out of college schools, like, kids are getting caught for, like, selling vapes in the washrooms and shit. Oh, my God. This is another thing I remember. There was a strict no dating policy allowed.
I mean, yeah, you're in elementary school, yeah.
Was that like you, in your elementary school too?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. Like, it was very rare. Like, you'll see like people dating, cause ours was up to like grade 7 too, right? Like, who's dating in grade 7?
Well, in grade 7, when like puberty started hitting, I guess like everyone was trying to like hate.
Some people, yeah, grade 7.
And like
near grade
MSN
7,
was
yeah.
popping, right? Like
Yeah.
fucking people always had these like fuddu ass posts on MSN and stuff.
Yeah.
And actually, before we get to that, a word from our sponsor again.
You got a sponsor now?
And well, I'm selling the merch that you
Oh, shit,
that you
yeah.
have. So, houseofjoehall.com. Use code E2 for a 20% discount. Only select few shirts left. Mostly larges, extra larges, some smalls, and I think a couple of double XLs. I'm talking about some menace. I'm gonna get into that.
I don't know what the hell that
I'm
is
gonna get
either,
into that.
bro. I don't know what that is either.
Get the shirts while supplies last. Use code E2. House of Joe Hall. Joe Hall spelled O-U. We have a wrestler shirt and an Olympic poster shirt. Check them out even. I think it's dope. Okay. And so we had MSN, right? Like it was like you had to make a Hotmail account and it was like the thing associated with it. Dude, it was so fucking
Yeah,
like
Snapchat, bro.
for that time, like when your crush came online and it was like green, like it was like your heart like stopped for a second. Like that was like the most exciting thing ever. You know, MSN Messenger dashboard. Okay, it wasn't this one. It wasn't this. It wasn't. This is before my time.
This is
I'll
like
tell you the one.
old,
I'll tell you
bro.
the one that I was on. Okay, MSN Messenger Web. No, it's not any of this.
This is like
no. This is
age,
not
bro.
this.
Are you
this,
sure it's MSN, man?
It is MSN, but some people had this, but this is not the one I had.
Like, this is old, G.
MSN Messenger Web from, I would say like 2010. It kind of looked. It's not this one, like, because
Search
you
up
could.
2010, search up-
I see. Yeah, I put the data in, but I can't find the exact one. Maybe it was called like MSN and just something else by that point. I guess maybe. Whatever, fuck it, I can't find it. So everyone basically just talk on MSN. Oh, because in grade 5 then Facebook came out. Wait, but some people were still using MSN in grade 7. So whatever.
Bro, I
People
was
are
like-
using MSN and talking in grade 7, all right?
I've
And so that was like the thing. So all these people were starting talking. And it's like, I could tell you some fucking crazy fucked up stories. Like this one guy gave a girl $100 to date him.
on MSN.
No,
Through MSN?
No. Like he talked to her and then in person gave her $100 and like she actually gave it back, which is like,
Good.
LOL, anti Chitropikyan. And like it was so embarrassing. And that guy to this day, he went to UBC. Like he's still the ultimate shudder of all time. Like he fucking lies and lies and lies about. He told me he was dating a Malaysian princess, and that like he fucking has Wagyu fucking steaks in his like freezer, and like he makes $100,000. He fucking told me all this crazy shit, and I still like I didn't want to be like you're capping, bro, because I'm like who cares? Like this, I'm running into you after years, so I'm just gonna talk to you like you're a cool guy or whatever, right? But this guy just fucking like the serial line.
What
This
if he
picture
was,
just
man?
gets me so much every single time I flash back. Like this little derpy ass kid. That was basically like me, man. And so like yeah, the dating got out of control, and then like some fucking dumbasses spilled the beans, and then the counselor got involved, teachers got involved, parents got involved. Yo, you can't talk
Are you
to these
sure it
people.
wasn't that kid? $100 kid?
No, yo, I don't think it's that guy. Like no one was snitching. Like those people weren't snitching like that, but like some people snitched, and it became a fucking scene. Like it became like an issue in the grade, where like they started like changing, like they started having. This is what I was talking about earlier, where we had to sit in the columns. This is how it looked like. It was like some fucking like Nazi level shit. You couldn't just sit wherever you wanted. And so that was a part of it. And then regular classes, obviously, bro, holy fuck. There was one time we caught the computer teacher watching porn.
Actually?
Yeah, hell fucking yeah. And then we just thought he was a pervert forever, and we just all thought it was fucking hilarious. But like now in hindsight, like we should have told the teacher, you know, and got that dude fired. Like he was still there. Like that's pretty fucked up, you know. And then like PE was always fun. And so when I say like the inmates are running the asylum, the way like I really like the best way to explain this is like we had a uniform, a school uniform, black pants, white collared, white dress shirt, right?
Yeah.
Basically, after your PE period, no one would put their white shirt on, and they would just have their black T-shirt on with the fucking jogging pants. So no one was really like taking it seriously. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's where, and no one enforced it. No one was like, you have to wear it. Like, they just did not give a fuck, man. Now that I heard things got more strict, where they force you to wear vests and have the fucking branded logos, and you have to buy from the school store because like that's how you make more money and stuff, right? Because everyone's just bootlegging the fucking stuff from Walmart, and so that was how they enforced it. But bro, it was just a fucking like. And then there was religious class. So besides your like regular learning math, PE, and like
Okay,
you had, so you had religious class. So you had Punjabi class, and you had religious class, and you had like a musical class. So musical class was either tabla or kirtan. Basically, if you chose kirtan as a guy, you were seen as a faggot.
What's kirtan?
Kirtan was at the vaja. It's this thing. It's the harmonium. So you might have seen this. This thing? Yeah, so this is so if you did kirtan, technically it would be like the harmonium, so you were gonna sing, and like all the dudes who did that, we just all looked at them as faggots, and so all the dudes did tabla, which was this. So I did this, you know, and there's one guy who I'm pretty sure was gay. He was one of the best at kirtan, so he chose the other one, and I'm pretty sure, you know, he was probably gay.
What if he's just like crazy singer? Man?
No, man. Like if you threw a ball at him, he would be like, ah. No. I don't want to dox a guy, but I'm 100% telling you, man. Nah. And so we'd have that class, and that was just, we would torture the teachers, bro. Fucking banging the tablas, like they would just have like nervous breakdowns and shit. And in hindsight, I feel so bad. Like they'd get these dippers off planes and be like, teach these fucking Canadian kids how to play tabla. They're like fucking ripping the tablas and like fucking poking holes in them. It was the fucking madman, man. But like I was good enough that like I had the duty, like it was like you had to play tabla on stage and stuff for like certain events and stuff. I
did that for saxophone.
Yeah, same idea, right? And so I would have to play tabla, and then like once a month you would have to go to Khalsa school at 6 a.m. to play tabla for us, like for the morning thing. Remember I was showing the 52 hukams, the Asa Divar thing. Yeah. So you'd have to play for that, and then your reward was they get you pizza at some point. So I did that a bunch of times, and it was in the tabla class that my homie gave me the copy of Naruto. Like, I have such a distinct memory of baby powder, the sound of fucking people just banging drums, and this dude being like, yo, read this book. It's called Naruto. I think you might fuck with it. Volume 2. Didn't even give me volume 1. He gave me volume 2. Read that shit, changed my fucking life. And this will be a part of the theme as I keep telling my Khalsa school stories. And so that was that. And then we had Punjabi class, and oh my god, there was like fucking like retards teaching, man. Like there's some like OG legends for people that have gone to Khalsa school. Mrs. Rungi is one of them. Mr. Clare, another one. Mr. Clare was so brain dead that you sat in his class and like he would just fart loudly and not give a fuck, man. Like he just had zero fucks given. And like when I swear to God, man, when it came time at the end of the year to give marks out, this guy dead ass just went like this. All right, who wears a kada? Obviously said in Punjabi, right? And like people be like, me. Okay, you get extra point. Who wears a pug? Extra point. Who's taking Amrit? Me. Okay, you get an A. Like straight up like that. So there was people in my class when I had Mr. Clear that took Amrit that year to get an A in that Punjabi class, bro. Like that's how fucking stupid it was. And then there was this teacher named Miss Rungi. Bro, please have a picture of her on this.
Yeah, dogs her, bro.
No, she's fucking old, man. I wonder if she's still... she was the most meanest, like, you know who she was like? This is actually so fucking accurate for those of you that have gone to Khalsa school that it's actually hilarious. She was this lady right here. She literally had a mole in the same spot. Her mole was hairy, and she was so goddamn mean for some reason, man. Like, she was so mean. That's her. That's Mrs. Rungi. I'm not even joking. And you'd have little kids like this innocent, and she'd be like, do the Uda Ada, and they'd be like, I don't know, like, my parents never taught me. And she would literally just, like, fucking be like, go stand outside.
Amanda Thrip.
That's Mrs. Rungi right there, bro.
Yes, Miss Trunchbull. What are those?
And literally such
What's
innocent
that,
little
Miss
kids, and she
Trunchbull?
would just be so mean to them.
It's the power, man.
And dude, during these camps, like, they would have these like Gurmat camps there.
Yeah.
She would, like, during when they're giving out food, you have to be like Satanam Vaheguru, and like some people aren't saying stuff.
Yeah.
She'd grab a bowl and a fucking karchi and bang it in your face to do it. Like, she was a fucking, like, she was mean, dude. And then, like, I remember this one year we got this like newer Punjabi teacher. He was like younger than the rest, and we tortured that guy to death, man. We were just so fucking like we would just fucking interrupt him and make fun of him and just do all types of like this is what I'm saying again. Like, there was no, like, one time in that class we started singing Punjabi songs like egregiously. Like, literally, like, it's like if you sang one line, I sang one line, like we're fucking drunk buddies singing. It got so bad, and he sent us to, because the religious school had its own principal.
Yeah.
He sent us there, and he's like, yo, what did you guys do? And we're like, we were singing the song, and he's like, okay. He just sent us back. Like, he just got a kick out of it, you know. And it was just like that you would never really get in trouble for anything. I got in trouble for stuff though, because I was very egregiously like bad.
I was like that too.
Like,
My whole family was though.
Yeah, except
Everyone,
Sean. We're all like, no.
Sean has so much trouble.
Is he?
He's changed his elementary. He changed his elementary school.
Oh, I thought it was just because like.
No, it was our whole family, man. We just.
But like they would like there was a couple times where my desk would be outside the class, like I was that kid, and then like I never got to sit with my own friends.
Neither did I, bro.
The teacher was like, hell no, you're a talkative ass motherfucker and stuff.
But I changed in high school. It's only in like elementary school. Once you
yeah,
go to
high school it changes,
like
right?
we grow up, right? Like.
And the problem was in high school, like you're not like with the same people all day, every day, all year, right? Like you're basically getting thrown into random class.
Yeah, yeah.
Who knows if your buddies are in that class, right?
Exactly.
So you just have to kind of adapt to whoever the fuck is in there. And so, like, I just have so many fucking stories, man. Like, in the Khalsa school gym, they had this like stunt bag thing, like stunt. Oh no, I'm doing a new tab. It's like stunt mattress. I think, like, something like that. Like these. Oh my god. Like this.
Oh yeah.
This a big one, right? And we were literally let's see if you can get a picture of the gym. Okay. See how there's like a stage here?
Yeah.
See how there's like this top part at here? There was like stairs there. We would climb to the top.
That's fucked,
we would
man.
climb to the top and leap dive onto the fucking thing, and the dude broke his arm.
That's fucked.
And then they were like, oh my god, we gotta get this thing the fuck out of here, bro. But I swear to god, we would walk to the top and we would just fucking like eagle, like, you know, in
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed, like eagle dive. We would eagle dive onto
The
this
leap
thing.
of faith, man.
Yeah, we would leap of faith onto this thing. Like, we were fucking, and they would just not say anything. Like, that's how fucked up school. But I loved it, man. Like this, like everything. And I hear it's like a lot more like prim and proper now, and like they actually like ball out with their school sports and shit. Like, it is great. Yeah. But holy fuck, man. Like, I wish I could get some more people. And then, oh my god, the worst thing of all was a thing called extended kirtan, where so that Gurdwara period was 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Extended kirtan was 3 hours. You had to sit there for 3 hours and fucking, it's hot as fuck, because like once a month they had it, and the only thing you're thinking before it's happening is like, how the fuck am I gonna escape this? Like, what am I gonna do to not have to do this? So the thing was, is Gyan Singh, the Gatka teacher, he would be running the Langar Seva part. So if he fucked with you, boom, you had your get out of jail free card. Every other excuses, super long washroom breaks, walking around. You know, if you had to do tabla, that was kind of chill because you could kind of sit to the side and take more breaks, and they're more lenient with you.
Yeah.
But like, god damn, man, it's clipping just a bit the mic, but I'm gonna replace that wire later. But like, god damn, like you can't like.
Mics, bro. You gotta connect that one day.
We will. But like,
nice ones.
think like your elementary school was not like this, you know. It was much more chill, much more structured and stuff.
Way more fights though.
Yeah, fights. Oh, we had fights, man.
We had so many. Bro.
Let me tell you the crazy thing. If some dude took off your pug and you beat the shit out of him, fair game. That's like getting called the N-word, man. Like if somebody did that to you, 100% you were in the right, no questions asked.
We had self-defense, bro.
Bro, in grade 7, every dude had to wear a pug.
Actually.
And oh my god, the fucking haircut kids had the shittiest bugs, man. It was fucking hilarious how bad some of these bugs were, man. And like you can see it in the yearbooks, man. It's fucking horrendously like sad. This is like the backfield and at college school. I remember at one point it took them like 4 years to reseed the field in the back, and we could never play on it. It was just so fucking like just such hoopty stories from Khalsa school, man. It was like the best fucking time of my life. You feel me? All right, you got any questions, sir?
Nah, man.
Surrey, BC girl heads to National Spelling Bee after arriving in Canada 2 years ago. What happened with the Guru Granth Sahib Swarups being printed at a Khalsa? Oh, basically, so remember that guy who got killed?
Yeah.
Remember I told you about the story, Hardeep Singh Nijjar?
Yeah.
Okay. A year before Hardeep Singh Nijjar got killed, Mr. Malik got killed. Right? The guy who basically started Khalsa school. And so Mr. Malik belongs to a sect. Remember I told you there's the Nirmala sect?
Yeah.
So like the most mainstream sects in the Khalsa today are the Nihangs, the Tiksalis or the Tiksal, and the AKJs. The AKJs don't believe in Dasam Granth.
Okay.
They believe in all a bunch of wacky shit. And so at the end of Guru Granth Sahib, there's this thing called the Rag Mala. Right? It's
okay.
like it's like another part of Guru Granth Sahib.
Yeah. But
there's also a Hindu text called Rag Mala as well. So these dumbasses just think like Rag Mala, that added to the Guru Granth Sahib, the Hindus added it. And that's always the fucking conspiracy. Hindus added it. Hindus did this. Hindus fucking inserted themselves, right? Acting like we're so stupid and illiterate that we could never read and figure like, what? How did these 400 extra pages get added? Like, you know? So Rag Mala it was in the Guru Granth Sahib, and so these AKJs don't believe in, and so this thing that they were gonna do is they were gonna print a bunch of they wanted to bring printing presses here to start printing them here in North America, which is like a big deal because as the system stands right now, like we have a Guru Granth Sahib upstairs. Yeah, you get them shipped like through on planes. Like they basically buy out the plane.
Yeah.
And then like one person is attending every single Sarup. So Nani has one, we have one. You know, Nani always take care of it. We take care of ours. And so they wanted to bring the presses here to basically make them here. Which is crazy because the problem is like, sure, the first 100 batch would be legit, but what if you started printing some with your editions, like your versions, right? Yeah. Exactly. And then if those get into circulations by the official printing press, it's a huge problem. So it's like a big thing. And then like Mr. Malik was demonized heavily in the community at that time because he was attempting to do it. It didn't end up happening because people were like, hell nah, dude. But like that was a huge like thing, and that's been like that's like an underlying big problem that ever happens every now and then because like so
massification.
I can't say this story like true. I can't give the details. I know who did it, but I can't say. There's this Gurdwara called the Smear Darbar. They're the ones who do the Nagar Kirtan. You've been, right? The Nagar Kirtan a couple times, right?
Yeah, I think I went with you guys out.
Okay, so let's go with the Smear. Hold up. So she knows what I'm doing.
I told my girl right now too.
Okay, so at this Smear Darbar, there's a Gurdwara across from it. Where is it? This one right here. I guess they didn't even call themselves a Gurdwara anymore. Sharia Punjab Community Center. They had a bunch of Guru Granth Sahibs, but they basically like. Do you see how it's like this is like the Gurdwara part, and then this is a convention center, so that they basically what they could do is wedding straight to the reception, and then the Sikhs were just like hell nah dog, like this is not fly bro, and it was a huge problem. And so they were obviously they also have the tables and chairs problem that as I explained to you before.
Yeah.
And so some fucking like unsung heroes broke into their Gurdwara and took out all the Guru Granth Sahibs, like 8 of them, just jacked them basically. That's broke in, and it was like a huge thing. And no one ever gave them swoops again, right? And so like there is a thing where like some people, and I think this also happened in America at some point. Guru Granth Sahib not returned. New Jersey. Right here, October 5th, 2004. So community demonstration for his return to Guru Granth Sahib Ji. So this happened. Like the problem is like people get these Guru Granth Sahibs and they're complete fucking dunder heads, and they don't know how to respect them. And then it becomes an issue, and then like the community has to get involved because like some people fucking keep them in cabinets and stuff. And so that was like a huge issue for a while, and again, like you can understand why like this is like, and people have beefed and fought in Gurdwaras for less, man. You fucking got the wrong guy sitting on the stage that people don't agree with. Fuck it, let's ball out. Like let's look at our favorite fucking like Gurdwara fights. Like this is gonna be a world star episode, I guess. Gurdwara fights. Do you think they'll show? Oh, here we go. Boom.
This is beefing.
Clash in New York Gurdwara 8 years ago. So this dude, I don't know what the fuck. Oh. Hey, yo, his fuck came off.
No, the bubble went crazy.
He just yo. I think I know what the story. He went up, gave money to the guy sitting there, and then he went for his op, bro, and boom, and they just all came at this guy. I wonder what the beef was there.
ਤੇ ਸਾਬਕਾ ਪ੍ਰਧਾਨ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਕਲਚਰ ਸੁਸਾਇਟੀ ਗੁਰਦੇਵ ਸਿੰਘ ਕੰਗ ਤੇ ਹਮਲਾ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਦਰਅਸਲ ਹਰਪਾਕ ਸਿੰਘ ਅਤੇ ਉਸਦੇ ਸਾਥੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਲਕ ਤੇ ਚੌਧਰ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਸਨ
so then it just gets into like dumb faction and everyone's beefing. So this actually happened at Surrey Gurdwara. Some fucking loon went and tried to like go for the thing, and they just fucking beat the shit out of this guy. Alright, let's see this one 7 years ago. Oh, bitch slap. Woo! Oh my god. And like see they're fighting Munne and stuff. Oh, did you see that one? Right here. Boom! Yo, this guy's just like getting it ready and just boom! He's loading up. Oh, look this.
That's fun.
Hey yo, there's cops there too. They're just letting it happen, man. This stuff happens more in the United States, like overall, than it does in Canada, to be honest.
Like
this guy, boom, one, boom, 2. Holy shit. Man charged after. Oh, I think this is that fight from a different angle.
17 people were charged earlier this summer.
And like all the women are just on the side, like stop. Like these guys.
This is a gang fight, man.
Yeah, this is literally equivalent of like fights, eh? Let's see the scuffle inside. Oh my god, dude, there's a really infamous one that happened at Harmandir Sahib. This is like our world star, bro. This is like the Sikh world star.
The Sikh world star is crazy, bro. The backyard street fights.
Yeah, backyard street fights. Yeah.
That shit goes crazy.
Akal Takht fight. Right here. Yeah, they took out sort of the nose. Is like actually they're just like doing this pussy shit, bro. Where they like acted like they were fighting like monkeys, you know? Like when monkeys get into groups, they get into like lines, and then like one side quickly charges up to scare the other side, but no one's actually like they're not biting in fangs. Like look at this guy, like he knows like nothing's happening, he's just chilling. Like no one got stabbed or killed. They just like act like it's gonna happen. But this happened literally at Harmandir Sahib. Like it's pretty rowdy. Like he has a sword, he's like swatting at the guy, and there's like no actual damage happening. He just dropped it. Like look how weak. And he's like, oh shit, homie, I gotta get back up.
Anniversary, and what we are told that one group wanted to address first, the other opposed it, and that led to.
It was like like I guess one group wasn't letting the other group speak. It's always some shit like who gets to talk, who doesn't get to talk, man. It's always the same fucking shit.
A dramatic fight has now. Watch as the two groups.
Like this is Panja Sahib. This is where, this is the birthplace of Guru Gobind Singh. This fucking fight happened. I guess they kept the martial spray really going. This is pretty hectic. Like throwing dudes off the stage. This guy fell. Boom, boom, boom. 4, 5, 6, 7. Jesus Christ. This guy's like, look at his pug, man. He just came. He's using band-aids to keep it on. Like this one. Scuffle at Kurukshetra Gurdwara. Someone slap him. No, this guy sat down in protest, I guess.
I respect the peaceful protest, man.
So whatever. The SGPC, the supporters came face to face with Gurdwara. So like the SGPC and HSGMC, I think they're like two different groups. The SGPC, Shromani Gurdwara Prabandhak Committee, they basically got to dictate how the Gurdwaras were ran and all in Punjab around the time the British left. So they've had a monopoly on this for a while. The HSGMC, I think, is a different committee that runs like other Gurdwaras not in their control. And so like they always beef, like you guys aren't doing the proper Khalsa stuff and etc. etc. Look at this guy just like, yo, chill. There's not really that much of a fight. There's some better ones always. I wonder if Gurdwara Fights GNSG. Alright, let's see this. Whoa. See this guy, these guys have a couple of these guys. Whoa, double team. Oh, bug came off. It's a shame, bro. Like, it's such fucking, but it's hilarious, man. Like, I just can't even deny it. This is the infamous 1999 brawl of Gurnanak Sikh Temple GNSG. Search New Zealand. I will look into that. This is the this is what basically caused that Gurdwara I was telling you to have the elections that were done by the government of Canada.
I think it's the aftermath.
Yeah, probably the aftermath.
Oh, police are right here.
And we'll take care of you. Once the police was informed, nothing was done. Basically, we were herded. All the people that were working from our side half of.
Seems like our side.
We were asked to shut the door. You here to be in here.
See, like a dumb bitch like this probably doesn't even know like why they're fighting, and like the other side has an argument, which is like you're not supposed to have tables and chairs. Having tables and chairs completely completely destroys the concept of langar, because then it's like a mess hall. It's supposed to be the humility of sitting on the ground with your fellow man to enjoy a meal, right? And so like these retards just never understood that.
Well, we should have been taken seriously. Yeah.
Even tell us
we were kicked out. So
they have a lot of other responsibilities in there, so they couldn't be like coming outside. I mean, their supervisors inside, and they're not going to put the elections on hold.
We were working full time. We were on our break.
I don't know. They're talking about some election shit. Coventry Gurdwara Fight. This is in the UK. Nah, they just fucking.
Get that New Zealand one, bro.
Okay, Gurdwara Fights.
Richmond.
Okay, we'll get to that one, and then what's the New Zealand one? Why do Gurdwara?
There's a whole playlist, bro.
Sick. These are only USA though, so we can go that one after. Okay, right here, I guess. Oh wait, is here like women's screen? Oh damn. Sometimes you just gotta hack it.
What did she just say?
Bitches saying sometimes when the mic is not that much footage, I guess. Nope. Those other. Okay, let's try to find the GNSG Gurdwara attack 2024, I think. Oh, Jesus Christ, I have to go through fucking hours of this to find this. No, I don't want to do that. Pack deliberately killed 6, whatever. Okay, I can't find it. Let's see some of these. Oh, look, it's me. Okay. Oh, last episode was all about like the Gatka, and this is the Gatka on each other. This seems like way back in the day. Oh shit, some people are coming in on some hype shit. Oh my god. Oh, okay, the crew is here. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh, these guys are grabbing these to fight. That's pretty, like, you know, the fact that you're ready to fight for your shit. You know what? Those, you know, those things those grab? They grab musical instruments. This is what they grabbed.
A flute?
No, not a flute. Okay, not this. Fuck, what's the name for a sick music instruments? Oh fuck, where is it? No, it wasn't a flute. It's like this thing that you like shake like this. It's like made out of metal. Like it's not a bad choice for a weapon. Right here. Chimta. That's what they grabbed. They grabbed a bunch of those and they went to beef. Like, you see these guys holding them? And it's funny because they make a sound like, chimta. They make a sound like a hi-hat. Yeah. So when you're beating someone, it's like, so it's like you're musically beating a fucking nigga shit. Oh my god. This guy, yo, he's using a fire extinguisher just because he's using the mic stand. Yo, holy fuck. This one might be the best one. This one might be the best one because you get to see like how retarded in like their choice of weaponry is. Bro, like shaky cam footage, man. Come on. Come on, bro. Let's see this. Oh shit. I would be so happy to see that in real life. No, I'm fucking pulling my phone and going. I'm pulling out going, Waheguru World Star! Waheguru World Star! And some guy on the mic is being like, you guys are in the presence of the Guru Granth Sahib. Please stop. Have some decorum. It's like, the decorum's out the window, bro. We're done with that now. It's so bad. It's like, it's funny because it's like they are fighting, but they don't want to fight. So they're like throwing like empty punches. Like they're not actually trying, you know? Oh, like see, it just becomes slap bets or whatever. What's Dana's thing called? Slap fighting? Slap. And the guy on the mic just constantly saying like, that guy's totally just fucking. This is from our. This is the one I've seen before. Why is it always missionaries? Because the missionaries are always like, the missionaries are the type of people that are like, you know, Sikh history's not really like that. You know, why do you even need to do full barneys? You know, have tables and chairs. What's wrong with a little bit of liquor in the fucking in the office of the Gurdwara? And that's why peace end up. But this is some next level people. I love this one because this dude in the front genuinely went there to Mathate, but the crew behind him was like, nah, dog, you're gonna scrap with us. But it's like he's getting ready like Rambo with the fucking headband, you know, like I'm ready to rumble, boys. Like, but I don't think he's there to fight. Actually, he might have been there to fight, bro. He's looking there to scrap, bro. Yeah, I think he might have actually been. Look at these, like some of these guys came with like a fucking like what's that thing in anime? It's like when you're gonna kill somebody.
Killing intent, bro.
Yeah, killing intent. It's like they had some legitimate killing intent. Like you could feel it. This guy
like a camcorder, bro.
He's not there to fight. He's there to film, bro.
That's me. That's how you would pull up.
I would be there with a suit, man. Come on. I would be there. I need to be more tactile, you know. I need to be able to move around more. The dude on the camera, the dude filming, he's like, wait, and he just. It's like a fucking battle scene because it's like pick up the weapons, and they're showing, they're showing the like weapons being picked up. This is what you gotta write in the anime, man. Some dumb shit like this. They were actually down though. They were down to brawl on both sides. I fucking respect the fuck out of it. If that fucking hit you, if that mic stand hits you, that fucking base of it just boom, you're fucking done, yo. That's a trip to the hospital, dog. He did a straight overhead. He just went ba-boom.
Lord of the Rings shit, bro.
He just did it like a berserk guts chop, dog. And the thing is, like, in front of the Guru Granth Sahib, you know, there's weapons there. Bro, so some of these guys are grabbing those, you know?
Those are like sacred though, bro.
So what happened after, do you think? Please actually hell yeah. What do you say? Please take the shoes off before entering? Yeah, right. This guy was really like hammer fisting throws, bro. This guy's pug off. That's the worst thing, man. Like when you're singing, you fight, the pug goes off. It just looks so. It's like it almost looks like you got knocked out, even though you're still in the fight. It's like you got knocked out. It just visually looks like you got fucked up. Like his pug came, like pugs just always end up flying. There's not much of a fight. Now look at the comment.
More people who are upset over temple leadership. Dozens of morning birds in temple.
That's the best one. 100 fucking thousand. I need to like this because this is the best one. 14 years ago, they fought over the group fought over control of the Gurdwara. See, that's how they needed to do it. You know, instead of having these elections, yo, bring your best, we bring our best, and we fucking wrestle in front of the guru. Because you know what? No, I'm being serious. There's a good argument to be made that like back in the day, because again, you're in wrestling. What are some of the names of the wrestling clubs?
Yeah, Guru Gobind Singh.
Exactly. So like like Guru Hargobind Wrestling Club, Meaty PD, etc., right? Yeah. So what will happen is like two best wrestlers would show up and they'd wrestle in front of the Guru. If you got a real dispute, bring your best, we'll bring our best. Like I'll bring my boy Vince and he'll fucking double leg you and just fuck you up. If we told you to scrap, you would scrap. We would make you scrap.
I'm peaceful, bro.
Shut up.
This
is the one where the guy walks up and he's like, I'm gonna bitch slap this dude. They're trying their best, man. Come on. This one is nothing. Fighting in Gurdwara Sahib. This is not really good. This is India. This means nothing. This is the best one. This is 100% the best Gurdwara fighting video I've ever seen in my life. Everything about it is so good. From the stage is like whatever. It's not that exciting. Like everyone just got Tat versus Bandai at Kaltak and the Bandai got force-fed pork. That is a true story. So what happened was the Tat Khalsa were like, so after Guru Gobind Singh Ji died, after he left the world and Guru Granth Sahib was the Guru, Panja Singh Bahadur was basically like given command of the Khalsa to an extent by Guru Gobind Singh to get revenge and justice. So he fucked up Punjab. Like he went through and everyone who like you know how the Guru's two youngest kids were killed, right? Yeah. Those guys who did it, he fucked them up, right? And so what happened was there was like a mythos around this guy. Like this guy is like holy shit. Like this guy is like winning every battle. Like there was like people were saying like they were like he didn't even carry arrows because he had infinite amount of arrows just from the bow. Like people were making crazy stories, right? And so the people who started following him were called the Bande Khalsa, and then they started wearing red, and they had all these rules like no eating meat, no fucking like no onions, no garlic in your food. Like they went really strict and stuff. Yeah. And you know how we say Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Fateh? Yeah. They started saying some other shit, and they started like kind of giving that guy a little bit. They thought he was nuts, right? The Tat Khalsa was everybody on the other side. Like remember Baba Deep Singh, guy fighting without his head? Those guys, they're on Tat Khalsa. And to basically, when Panja Singh Bahadur died, there was a debate or like there was a fight. There was this fight between the Tat Khalsa and Bande Khalsa at Akal Takht Sahib. And they had to decide how are we gonna, like, who's gonna join who? Are we joining you or are you joining us? So they decided in 3 ways. 2 ways, actually. The first way was they took 2 pieces of paper and they wrote, like, whatever thing, and they dropped them in the water. Whichever one sunk first, they were out. That was the first one, but then the second one, the real one, was your best wrestles our best. And they fucking wrestled each other, and the Tat Khalsa fucked up the Bande Khalsa. And then to basically initiate them into the Khalsa, they force-fed they had to eat pork. Because it's a double thing, because some people were joining the Bande Khalsa because it was like it was looting and like Muslim people started disguising themselves as Sikhs to join. And so what's the only thing a Muslim will never do?
Pork, yeah.
Exactly. So to basically prove it, like even to the other people, it's like eat pork and we'll accept you. So that's basically what they ended up doing. None of these are as good as that other one, man. That one's gonna go down like I'm fucking 100%. Like I love that one. That one's just so good. Fighting Gurdwara. For some reason, they all just happen in the States, and then the ones that happen in like Canada. Huh? The ones that happen in Canada, I guess they were just never like truly shown, right? But with that, this episode is technically like 2.5 hours now. Then you got shit like Sun Pak Baba. I don't know. Then you got shit like Sun Pak Baba. Okay, I'm gonna search that up, see what I get. Sun Pak Baba.
Put on Google.
Is that this fight? Yo, man, come on, you gotta give me some more details, brother. Then you got some shit like bro. What?
Nah, I don't want to see that.
Yes, you can't see it on there,
that
but
shit's illegal, bro. You're gonna get banned if you see that shit.
Okay, incident explained.
Oh, it's on the dark web or some shit. Access to that shit, bro.
Yeah, what's this? A 17-year-old boy was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder. 2 worshippers were. Was this it? Okay, here. Oh my god. Deal ਕੀਤਾ ਆ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਰਿਕਾਰਡਿੰਗ ਇਹ ਬੇਅਦਬੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਡੀਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ.
So one time I was at the Gurdwara and I saw Baba do something that made me die laughing.
No, it's not this guy. Yeah, I don't even know what it is, man.
I gotta research that shit for next.
Yeah, I gotta research that. I'm not finding this shit no time soon. But with that, we are done. How'd you like your first stream, brother?
It's good, bro.
Good night, man. Good night. Last thing. You guys, houseofjoel.com. Use code E2, 20% discount at checkout. Grab the merch. You'll enjoy it. Oversized tees. So be careful with the type of size you buy. And I hope you like the stream. I hope you like it. More videos, more everything. I'm probably gonna like start doing this regularly. I'll figure out a schedule soon and do like one during the day, one during like later at night, and then also start playing video games and shit. So just like a chill sesh. But yo, hope you enjoyed that. Peace. You can say peace too.
Peace out.